Good evening, and welcome back to another. You know what? I think I want to do I think I want to go for my headset tonight, y'all. Hang on just a second. All right. Yeah, let's do that. I like that better. Good evening, and welcome back to another live edition of Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. If you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. We're going to be getting started tonight with a very interesting topic that began as a question from one of the members of the community. That question had to deal with the identity of Judah and Israel. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. But first, let us begin with some upbeat reggae music. You're watching Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. Again, if you are new, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you. We're going to play some music while we're waiting for you guys to join in. And we're having some fun tonight. Y'all know if you can't have fun, why do it, right? This is some reggae-free, or not reggae-free. Reggae-free? Is there any such thing as reggae-free reggae music? There is, depending on who's playing it. No, this is some royalty-free reggae music that I just pulled up on the YouTube channel. So we're going to play a little music while we're waiting for a few people to get into the chat room, because we got this topic that, again, it came in from one particular subscriber whom I will not name unless I have their permission. And if they jump on the live tonight and they hear what we're talking about and they want to volunteer that they are the ones that issued that question, I'll be more than happy to give them their shout out. But I want to tell you guys, while I'm waiting for some more people to join the room, that I do get different questions from a number of different subscribers. And I thank you guys for sending your questions in to me via Instagram Messenger. I can't always get to all the questions. I can't always get to all the messages, you guys, because I get a lot of messages in YouTube, not just from subscribers, but of course the regular family members that choose to message me via Instagram Messenger rather than your traditional text message. And I don't know, sometimes I get text, Instagram messages, WhatsApp messages, all of that from family members. But it's always nice when I'm getting messages from you guys. So as you're coming in, do me a favor. If you are watching the chat right now, please tap that live like button, because it's going to let more people know that we are live and ready to go with this exciting topic. Question from the community: who is Judah? Who is Israel? Why it matters and why it doesn't. All right, so we're going to be talking about that coming up. I'm going to wait for a few more people to jump in, and we're going to, as I say always, get started. We're going to hit it quick and try to get out of here quick. But y'all know how it goes sometimes on this channel. Y'all already know. I do want to make one announcement while I'm waiting for more people to join, and that is that I'm going to be going live tomorrow night, because we've got we've got a full moon in Virgo coming up on Wednesday, and that is the first eclipse of the 2025 season. So that's going to be a very special, powerful full moon in the sign of Virgo. Eclipse, lunar eclipse. It's going to be a full moon lunar eclipse. And eclipses are special, and we're going to be talking about what you can expect with this upcoming lunar eclipse, and that'll be coming up on Wednesday. Well, the eclipse is Wednesday, but I like to get out ahead of the full moons and the new moons at least a day in advance to give you guys what you want to do with regards to manifestations if you're talking about a new moon, and gratitude rituals if you're talking about a full moon. This one is a little bit special. It's very different, okay? And we're going to be talking about that a little bit more tomorrow. Let me see how many more people we have in the live here. We're still live. We're still at 2. So I'll tell you what, if all we get is 2, then I'm going to just go forward with it at about the 5 or 6 minute mark, because I don't want to keep you guys waiting. At 2 is enough for me. I can just treat it like it is an on-demand video, and you guys can watch it whenever you get ready. But guys, I'm excited. I'm excited about this topic. And again, thank you. If ever you have a question or something that you want to bring in, a topic that you want me to break down, that's the end of the music, and I do not want to hear an ad, and I don't think you guys want to hear one either. So let's get ready for tonight's video breakdown. Okay. All right. You're watching Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. All right. We got 4 people in the chat. One more thing I'll say before we get started with tonight's topic. I'll be going through my notes, and I'm going to try to I shouldn't say speed through it because y'all know what happens. But we got no people in the chat right now. So guess what? That might make it a little bit easier to speed through. Not discouraging anybody. If you got a question, drop it in the chat. I know the family. I know it's a Monday night. Some people have got things going on. Some people are working late. Some people are wrapping up dinner. We did have a time change, and I don't even want to get into this time change sorcery that they do every year, twice a year, right? Like they're fooling anybody. The equinoxes don't change. You can change the clock, but the equinoxes are going to do what they do. So anyway, I feel like I'm getting off topic here. So let me, I did say there was one more thing I was going to announce, and now I've forgotten it already, just talking about the silliness of the equinoxes. But anyway, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, ladies, gentlemen, fellas, listen, if you got a question, you got a topic that you want me to delve into, please do not hesitate to send me that either via email or hit me up in Instagram direct messenger, and I'll be happy to take a look at it. I'll respond if I can. If I do not cover the topic, or you got a question and I do not cover it on the air or on an episode, don't take it personal. It's just it's something that has to resonate with me. Again, I get a lot of different requests, and it's something that's got to resonate with me, and it's got to be in line with what I do on this channel. So anyway, we're at about 6 minutes in. So if you're watching it again, please tap that like button for me. It's going to notify more people that we are online. And you guys know how these notifications go with my channel. So all the help I can get from you guys, I really greatly, truly appreciate. Now, let me switch over to my notes and we're going to get started. Thank you all for being here. I know you guys could be doing anything on a Monday night. All right. But you're here hanging out with Matt D. Talford, and I do not take that lightly. So I always appreciate when you guys are here. Now, let me get us started. Tonight we're talking about, again, this is a question that came in from the community, and that question had to deal with identity. Who is Judah? Who is Israel? All right. And there was some other questions. Let me read the copy from the description box, and I'll start it like I always do. This video was inspired by a question from a subscriber seeking additional clarity regarding the storied tribe of Judah, aka the Kingdom of Judah, and the 10 tribes collectively known as the Northern Kingdom, as well as the Kingdom of Israel. Who are they, and why is there so much criticism of the Northern Kingdom by those who consider themselves to be Judah, aka the Southern Kingdom? I don't know a whole lot about that, but I can give you some ideas and a lot. Anything that I speak on that or anything I say with regards to that, why there might be criticism, that's always going to be a matter of opinion, unless you have, whys when it comes to certain things like that are matters of opinion and not fact. So I'm just going to give you guys my opinion. I'll give you that disclaimer up front and tell you why I think that is. But I'm going to get into the identity part with I'm just going to hit my notes for the identity part, tell you, and again, I'm going to end this with why the identity matters and why it kind of ultimately does why it ultimately matters and why it ultimately doesn't. I'm going to be talking about that tonight, and that may rub some people the wrong way. My only ask is that you would please be respectful in your comments underneath the video or in the chat. I know I get new people that pop in every now and then, and they want to try the kid. Don't try me. All right. No, sometimes I got time. Tonight I don't have time. All right. So I want to get this topic and get on off of here. So now in this video, I'm going to move about answering that question from as neutral and as balanced a perspective as I can. And in doing so, I will explain both why identity matters and why it does not, especially in this critical juncture in the Earth's timeline. So now, let me get started. We've got 11 people in the chat. Thank you all for being here. And let me go ahead and pop open the notes. Now, we have some foundational scriptures for tonight's video breakdown. I don't have anybody in the chat, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to type those foundational scriptures into the chat myself for those of you that want to write them down. I'll speak them, and I'll type them in as well. So I'm going to try not to hit this microphone too much. And I got a new toy, y'all. I'm trying to get used to it. It's a different footprint than the Blue Yeti that I used for the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm back home, so to speak, with the Samson G-Track Pro. Shout out to Samson. And by the way, I'm not getting anything for saying that. I just happen to like the microphone. Okay. So if you're a content creator and you're wondering, the 2 premier content creator microphones for those that don't have full audio workstation setups are the Blue Yeti and the Samson G-Track with G-Track Pro, and both of them are very nice mics, but I personally prefer the Samson G-Track Pro. G-Track Pro, I think it works a little bit better with my voice. So now let me type in these foundational scriptures and we'll get started. First foundational scripture for tonight comes from the book of Genesis. It is chapter 32, verses 20. You know what? I don't have to type. I can copy and paste. How about that? All right. First one is Genesis chapter 32, verses 22 through 31. The second thing I'll be reading from this tonight. This is not per se scripture, but this comes from Antiquities of the Jews. Okay. Let me extend that. Okay. That is the second reference or foundational scripture. Third up, we go to 1 Kings. All right, just getting this established, you all. Just setting the table before we all sit down and eat. Number 4 comes from the Apocrypha. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 13, verses 40 through 46. Thank you all for being here tonight. And this next one is from the book of Isaiah, chapter 62, verses 1 through 4. And next we have the book of Titus, verses 8 through 9. I always get thrown off when you get those Bible books that only have one chapter. You're looking at, did I take that right? Y'all know how it goes. And by the way, for those of you that are new watching me, I have to give you this disclaimer. I'm not a religious person. I am not, I no longer wear the label of Christian or any denomination associated with. Why is that, Matthew? For those of you that are new, they might wonder why. It is really simple. The Bible is a spiritual book. It is not a religious book. Okay? The Bible and the ancient texts from which it was derived are spiritual in nature, not religious. They were hijacked by the religious establishment and refashioned into the doctrine of control. I'm here to show you the way. All right? If you want to stay controlled or continue being controlled, then that's up to you. But I got a job to do on this planet. And that is to show you exactly what I just told you, that the Bible and the ancient text from which it was derived are spiritual in nature. All right. And we do know from reading John chapter 4 that God is a spirit, and they who worship him must worship in spirit and in truth. All right. In spirit and in truth, not in religious practices. All right. Go read John chapter 4 and see what check out that conversation between the Messiah and the Sumerian woman. I don't even like the term Samaritan because there was no place called ancient Samarita. They call it Samaria, but is it Samaria or Sumeria? Same region if you know the old maps, okay? Not this new stuff that they got all chopped up, whatever. Anyway, now I got the foundational scriptures in there for you guys. Wanted to get that in there. They again are Genesis chapter 32, verses 22 through 31. Antiquities of the Jews, book 1, chapter 20, sections 1 and 2. I will be reading that tonight online. 1 Kings chapter 12, verses 1 through 20. Some of these I've got as foundational scriptures for you guys to read on your own. Some of them I will be reading tonight. 2nd Esdras chapter 13, verses 40 through 46. Isaiah chapter 62, verses 1 through 4. The book of Titus, found in the New Testament, verses 8 through 9. Matthew chapter 8, verses 5 through 12. And Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. All right. Those are our foundational scriptures for tonight. Now, I've got this broken down into 4 parts, okay? And because I have it broken down into 4 parts, at the end of this video, I will come back and put timestamps in there for those of you that like to kind of watch now and then maybe take a pause and come back later or come back the next day and whatever. I know a lot of you guys like chapter markers or timestamps. I love them too, especially for the longer videos. So I will be doing that for you guys at the end of this video tonight, okay? And let's see, for those of you who heard my announcement in the beginning about the full moon eclipse in the sign of Virgo video that I will be doing tonight, if you are watching this by Wednesday, there will be a link in the description box, okay? If you're watching this video by Wednesday, there will be a link in the description box to that full moon in Virgo eclipse video Okay, that's all. That's it for the announcements. Now, let us jump in. Part one. Let me review the question. I read it early on, but you know what? Do I have my phone in here? I do. I'm going to read this from the Instagram Messenger, and again, I'll keep the name of the individual confidential, and we'll jump right in here. All right. And if you guys got any questions, just drop them in the chat. Thank you. All right, give me just a second here. All right, that question came to me as it said, "Hey Matt, will you explain the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Israel? Who is Judah? Who is the tribe of Israel? I hear a lot of Israelite men and women, or Israelite male and females, saying that they are the tribe of Judah. They criticize the tribe of Israel, especially when it comes to marriage. Any thoughts? Thank you." Okay. Let me say up front, unless because that marriage thing, I don't know about what the criticisms are. If anybody watching this are familiar with that and you want to drop that in the chat, I'll be happy to try to tackle it depending on the nature of the question. I don't answer questions just to answer them. If it's something I feel like I have expertise on or a valid opinion, I will share it. But if it's something that I do not feel like I have expertise on, or I don't have an opinion one way or another, I don't just spit on it. I just leave it alone. So anyway, anybody that's got any information on that and they want to drop it in the chat or leave it in the comments if you're watching this video on demand, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot. But for tonight, I want to stick with the identity piece and tell you why that identity matters and why it does not. So now, with that being said, let us jump into, I reviewed the question for you. Now, let me first say this. I want to first explain to you guys why dealing with the topic of identity is difficult for me. Okay. Difficult for someone. I just gave you guys a disclaimer. I told you I don't consider myself a religious person. I grew up in church. I spent probably more time in church from as early as I can remember. I'm sure my mom had me in tow before I even knew that I was in the world. I'm sure she had me in tow sitting in church in somebody's pulpit, not pulpit, gosh, somebody's pews. Okay. Had me sitting in somebody's pews or chairs or whatever from before I even knew that I was in the world. Okay. So I think my earliest memories go back. My earliest childhood memories go back to age 4, and I'm sure she had me in church before age 4. But anyway, I have probably spent more time from birth through about age 16 in church than probably half the population will spend in their entire lives. So that being said, I know the word. I'm familiar with it. I'm very familiar with church. I'm very familiar with organized religion. But I also know why I left organized religion, and I'm not getting into that tonight. However, now that I consider myself a spiritual being having a human experience, which all of us are, some of us are just awakened to it, and others are not. But with that now, that understanding, that understanding, it sometimes is difficult for me to deal with the topic of biblical identity. Okay, and that has a lot to deal with the fact that I'm someone who looks first at the soul energy and second at the soul packaging. These bodies, the skin, the hair, the nails, the eyes, eye color, all of that stuff, the clothing we wear, the types of cars we drive, the types of houses we live in, all of that stuff is soul packaging, but is the energy of the soul that is eternal. And so as a spiritual being now and someone that considers himself to be spiritually awakened, and this is kind of how I've always been anyway, but I'm this way a lot more so now. I tend to look at the energy, not the packaging of the energy. I will look at the packaging of the energy too. Let me keep it 100, but that's secondary. The primary for me is looking at the energy. So with that said, it is difficult sometimes for me to deal with topics of identity because identity can be polarizing. But at the same time, we are here. We have higher selves that are perfect. I said this in a previous live stream. Our higher selves are perfect. They're absolutely perfect. It is our lower selves that come here to build. Okay, the lower self is imperfect. The higher self is perfect. And so, in as much as we are spiritual beings having a human experience, even though we all come from the same ether, we are here in the physical, and there are certain things in as much as the cosmos is balanced, the earth has to be balanced too. And that is where I try to balance myself and understand that, hey, you know what? Even though you look at the soul energy first, you still have to deal with the fact that you are here in this suit and dealing with real world issues that have to be brought into balance. So that is the challenge. If anybody feels polarized or left out of this conversation tonight with anything that I have to say, please understand that it is not personal and it is not something that I'm trying to do. I truly love everybody who loves me. If you don't love me, I can love you from afar. Okay. I can love the God in you. Let me say that. I can love the God in you if you got any God in you. Okay. I can understand that everybody's different and everybody deals with different things. And sometimes people are just at different frequency levels. And if we vibing on the same frequency level, it's cool. You stay in your zone and I'll stay in mine. All right. That's kind of how I deal with that. Now, so it's kind of difficult. It's challenging sometimes because I realize that, I have a lot of friends from a bunch of different cultural backgrounds. And when you start dealing with the Bible, when you understand what the scriptures are, and you understand that that is a book associated with a specific people, but that the worldwide religious establishment lied about identity. Now that the truth of the identity is coming out, it can be very, very painful for some people to realize that. And some people have cognitive dissonance and they don't want to accept the truth that this is a particular book written by and about and primarily for a particular people. All right. There are many gods in the universe. A lot of people don't want to hear that either. But one scripture you can go and read for yourself. I don't have it as one of my foundational scriptures tonight. It is the book of Micah, chapter 4, verses 1-5. And that'll settle all of that for you. That will settle that. Maybe I'll read it tonight. If anybody wants me to read it, just drop it in the chat. Okay. All right. Now, let's see. The next thing on part 1 here. Why I try my hardest to avoid engaging in debates regarding the biblical identity of the Israelites. Okay. Why I try my hardest to avoid engaging in debates regarding the biblical identity of the Israelites. Okay. I did pray before I tackled this topic, before I agreed to even, not that it was an agreement, because I didn't tell the person up front that I was going to do this, but it was something I prayed about. And I was like, okay, this is coming to me for a reason. Is this something I need to tackle or no? I'm here tackling it. So that should give you the answer that I received. But with that, I do try my hardest, y'all, to avoid engaging in debates regarding the biblical identity of the Israelites. What's the primary reason for that, Matthew? The primary reason is that it is a slippery slope that can lead to a free fall into religion and doctrine, which both to me are practically useless. Okay. They're practically useless for me. So I try to I try to get out of religious debates because people that are in religion, they're vibrating at a different frequency than somebody that understands what religion really is. And it did serve its purpose at one time. I'm not completely knocking it, but it was a function of a different era. That era is gone. Religion is a function of the age of Pisces. We're now moving into the age of Aquarius. And this is why religions around the world, primarily Christianity, are crumbling. Okay. So now I'm going to tackle this topic and I'm going to try to do it from a neutral perspective, because again, when I hear people saying, hey, can you tell me about this versus that with the Bible? A lot of people don't understand the historical, what's the word I'm looking for? The historical aspects or the historical facet or the historical underpinnings of a lot of these Bible stories. And they're treated as religion when they are actually history, even though academia does not always treat them like their history. They leave that for the religious, and therein lies the problem. Here is a history book that is treated like religion, and therefore the management of the education thereof, left to the religious establishment, which is fine with that, because it wants control. So anyway, I'm going to try to stay out of the religiosity of it and deal with it from a neutral and historical perspective, and ultimately a spiritual perspective and prophetic one. Moreover, more or less, this is not a whole lot of spirituality here tonight. This is more history and prophecy. And again, I know this is still part of the setup, but I'm moving on in just a minute. But I've said this for years. If your pastor's not teaching prophecy and identity, and he's still preaching prosperity, that ain't someplace you need to be, because prosperity is not serving you in an age where the monetary system as we know it is going to go away. And that is prophesied if you understand what you're reading when you're looking at the 2nd chapter of the book of Daniel. Now, so anyway, I took y'all all the way around the block to tell you, took you all the way around the block to get you to the house next door that says, hey, You know, Matt is sometimes it's a challenge for Matt to talk about to be a spiritual being and then have to talk about things that are divisive like identity, but they have to be talked about because the truth is the most people says we're all united. No, well, you know, we may ultimately all be united energetically, but physically speaking, there is division. And if you try to close your eyes, it's not real, then you're choosing to be anyway. What is it called? Cognitive dissonance. Exactly. And of course, I don't want to again go down that slippery slope. So let me check the comments because it looks like we got some people in here now. Jojo Mac, what's up, brother? What's up? He said, "You think the Most High led us out of the church?" I absolutely do. Like the master has to kick you out of the dojo for you to become a master of self. I absolutely 100% think that is true. Absolutely, I'm with you on that. The Last Dragon, I love it. I love it. That's what, Jojo. That's one of that might be my favorite movie of all time. That might be my favorite movie of all time. I love The Last Dragon. Lady Dagger Status, what is up? Thank you for joining tonight. Thank you for joining. All right, y'all. So let me move on to part two. Let's call this part two the name progression of the elect from no collective name to Jacob to Israel to the new name that has yet to be uttered, the new name that has yet to be spoken. Okay, now let's talk about this for just a minute. The original chosen ones, y'all. The original chosen ones. Let me move this mic away from my mouth just a little bit. It feels like it's so loud. The original chosen ones did not have a collective identity. Am I wrong? Pardon me. Am I wrong? Somebody put it in the chat. Somebody tell me, according to scripture, what was the collective identity of pre-Abraham, pre-Noah, okay? Pre-Methuselah, pre-Enoch. What was the collective identity? Was there one? I'll wait. Might be waiting all night, right? There was not one. I mean, if I'm wrong, somebody put it in the chat. But the people whom I call the chosen ones, aka elect, they're the ones that were sent here on a mission to do something spiritual, not religious. They came here to do something spiritual. And ultimately, and this is my personal belief. What's up, Capri 10? Thank you for joining. Mankind and certain individuals, because remember, as above, so below. So you are literally the incarnation of your cosmic energy. Yes. What you are looking at on the screen right now and what you are hearing right now is the physical incarnation of cosmic energy. We come from the stars. Maybe not everybody, and I've heard different narratives, different accounts of that. But at any rate, you're probably this mic is so sensitive, y'all. I don't know if y'all are picking up that road noise. As an aside, that was why it was so challenging for me to record my audiobook. This microphone is so sensitive. If you're not in a sound vibration or sound dampened room or whatever, it can be a challenge with picking up outside noise. So anyway, but I still love the microphone, so it is what it is. The Yeti didn't pick up as much outside noise as this one, but it's all cool. Anyway, getting back to I got the headphones on, so I'm hearing everything too. Getting back to that point, there was no identity. There was no collective identity. There was no collective identity. There was just Abraham. Get the what is it? The 12th chapter of Genesis. Get thee out of thy country and away from thy kindred, and go to a land that I will show you. Right? He was just Abraham. He was Abraham of the Chaldees, or the Chaldees, if you want to pronounce it with that hard ch. Okay. There was no Noah. What tribe was Noah a member of? What tribe was Seth a member of? What tribe was Cain a member of? What tribe was Abel a member of? I'm hitting everybody. Don't matter. What tribe was what were these? What tribe was Enoch in? You see what I'm saying? But if you look at modern religion, Judaism will hijack all those people and say they were Jewish. That's kind of how that works. But where's the historical account for any of those prior to Jacob having a collective identity? There wasn't one. So we're gonna keep it moving. Jacob, mentioning Jacob, let's move on to Jacob. Okay, Jacob. Why was it? We're dealing with the question: who is Israel? Who is Judah? Why does it matter? Why does it not matter? Okay. So next, Jacob. Let's talk about that name, Jacob. We know who Jacob was. Jacob was the grandson of Abraham. Abraham was the one that the Most High set that covenant with. He was the one that the Most High set the covenant with. Okay, he set the covenant with Abraham, and he basically said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna multiply." Let me pull that up. That one is not one of my foundational scriptures, but I'm gonna pull it up real quick. He said he made a promise to him to make him a great nation. That was Genesis chapter 12. All right. Another one that's hijacked by quote unquote the Jewish people. Abraham was not Jewish. He didn't practice. I don't know. I still to this day it trips me out that they label these Abrahamic religions, and Abraham practiced none of them. None of the 3 Abrahamic religions did Abraham practice, but it's called Abrahamic religions. I think that's so funny. Now, Genesis chapter 12. This was not a foundational scripture, but I'm just going to read it really quick. 12:1 through 4. We'll go through 4. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation and will bless thee and will make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Okay. So that basically, I'm not going to read verse 4. That basically set him as if you want to look at it as a triangle, that set him at the pinnacle of the triangle. He said, in you, all families of the earth are going to be blessed. Not just your families. All families of the earth are going to be blessed. So Abraham is the first one that he kind of set up really to be. Now, of course, Abraham is of the lineage of, you can trace all of that line back to Noah, of course. But as far as the promise, Abraham was the first one. And he said, hey, all right, you know what? You're going to be the progenitor of a great nation, okay? A great nation. And for that cause, a lot of times people, I'm not going to go too far off down the rabbit hole, but a lot of people look at Ishmael and forget that Ishmael was one of Abraham's sons. He said, I'm going to make of you a great nation. He didn't say, well, you're going to have 2 sons. One of them I'm going to make a great nation, and the other one I'm not. Y'all stick with me, okay? I'm just reading it the way it's written, all right? So he said, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. He said, I'm going to make of thee a great nation. I'm going to make of thee a great nation. Now, you know what? Let me walk that back a little bit, because there's 2 ways there's another way you could look at that. I'm going to make out of thee a great nation. So a great nation is going to come out of thee. That can lend itself to a little bit of separation. You can then make the argument. I told y'all, look, it's the Libra rising. I try to be as balanced as possible. I try to be fair. You can look at that, and I will make of thee, verse 2, I will make of thee a great nation. You can look at I will make of thee. You can look at it like it's kind of, I'm going to make out of thee a great nation. So on the one hand, you could say, hey, all of your seed, everything, all of your offspring is going to be a great nation. Or you can look at it the other way and says, hey, out of thee is going to come a great nation. You can then take that other line and say, okay, you got Ishmael here and Isaac here, and one of them is the one that I'm making out of thee a great nation. So anyway, just wanted to share some thoughts on that before we move on. Now, back to, I'm wondering if I'm going to need a pop filter. I cannot wait to listen to this thing, listen to this replay. Anyway, so that was, again, the original chosen ones had no collective name, but when it came to Jacob was the grandson of Abraham, okay? He was the son of Isaac, okay? Now, his name, why was his name Jacob? Real quick, y'all have heard me talk about this on this channel before. Isaac and Rebekah had 2 sons, Esau and Jacob. Real quick, all right? Y'all know how things work. I told you, as above, so below. I just sat up here and said that we are the incarnation of cosmic energy, okay? We weren't just a thought, a blip with it. The flesh didn't appear and then the spirit and soul injected into it, or the spirit and soul didn't come out of the flesh. The flesh is a carrier for the spirit and the soul. So sometimes religion looks at it differently. They look at it the other way. But the truth is, the flesh is the carrier for the spirit and the soul energy. Okay. So with that in mind, when you look at Jacob and Esau, the 2 sons of Isaac, who was the son of one of the sons of Abraham, Jacob and Esau, soul energy, cosmic energy, incarnations of cosmic energy. Jacob was destined to be the head of that great nation if you want to look at it, if you want to look at that 12 and 3 the other way. Jacob was destined to be the head of that great nation, the progenitor for that great nation. But here's this wrestling going on in the womb of Rebecca. And what is it? It is Esau and Jacob wrestling. Esau came in under earth energy. He didn't come in under divine providence. Okay, divine God does not subject himself to the rules of man. Man says the firstborn is the one that gets everything from the daddy. He gets the blessing from the daddy. He gets the birthright from the daddy. But if God said, "This is who I'm choosing," what did he what did he say in Jeremiah the first chapter? He said, "Before I formed thee in the womb, I knew thee, and ordained thee a prophet to the nation." So he gives you your job. You come here with your job. You come here with your job. A little bit of an aside. This is why a lot of people are frustrated in their careers, because they're not working in the job that they came here for, that they came here with, that they came here to do. You come here with your job. Whether or not you do it is up to you. You are a free will being. Now, if you're chosen, you're going to do it. There's no question. Why? Because the Most High don't pick losers. I've said that before. If you are truly chosen and marked to do something, you're going to do it the easy way. You're going to do it the hard way, but you're going to do it. Okay. Now, Jacob was the one who was Jacob had the destiny. Remember what I told y'all about destiny swapping? Nobody can ever swap destinies with you. People talk about that. I hear that a lot in the spiritual community, but nobody can truly swap a destiny with you. They cannot swap something that they were not destined for. That destiny has your name on it. It doesn't have their name, whatever their etheric name is. Everybody's got an etheric name too, believe it or not. That's a story for another day. I won't deal with that right now. That destiny belongs to it's got your etheric name on it. So another energy can never have what is destined for you. You can either fulfill your destiny or delay it, but you're going to do it eventually. Okay. So Jacob was destined for it. But here's Esau, the stronger of the two. He wrestles his way into first position out the chute. Okay. Hope that ain't too graphic for somebody. He wrestles his way into first position out the chute. He comes out the chute first, right? But Jacob, let's talk about that name progression. Remember, I said this part 2, the name progression of the elect from no collective name to Jacob, to Israel, to the new name yet to be spoken. So it was preordained. You don't think the Most High knew that Esau was going to come out first? So it was preordained for Rebecca to name Jacob. Why? Because Jacob means trickster. I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. Y'all stay with me. Jacob means one who supplants, takes something from somebody else, a trickster. Jacob had to come in with that energy because remember, if you don't listen, if you don't, there's a website, y'all. I might share it at the end here. It's not my notes right now, but you can look your name up and see just how much you embody the energy of that name. It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing. Got it. This is why I tell people all the time, your kid, that what that child is named is important. But I would almost say, be careful of what you name your children. But the truth is, it's the other way around. Your children whisper into your ear what to name them. They already know their name. They're telling you, this is my name, and you name them what their name is. They come here with everything is written. Everything is written above. Everything is written before you show up. It's so beautiful. But let me stay on track. So he has to come in with this name, which means one who supplants. Okay. One who supplants. I think I'll put this on the screen before. Plant. Okay, supersede, replace, and then also did the I also did the, where is it? Hang on, fam. I don't want that. Quick review. Okay, let's do this real quick. I'll use this one. Let me share this to the screen. Supplant. Dispossess, acquire a position by strategy or scheming. Okay? Dispossess, acquire a position from someone by strategy or scheming. Okay? To trip up, overthrow, drive out, usurp. Supplant. So Jacob had to receive the name so that he can embody the energy of one who supplants. And then he spends his childhood mastering the skill of tricking people and supplanting. Why? Because it is ultimately destined for him to trip up and dispossess his older brother of the thing that already belonged to him. You see that? So, in as much as the dark side thought that they were winning by having Esau win the wrestling match and come out the chute, the Most High was like, I want him to win it. I want him to win that match and come out the chute so I can show him my real power. Rebecca named that boy Jacob. Well, but that means one who supplants or dispossesses or usurps. Trust me, name him that. Boom. So he uses that energy to take back what was already rightfully his. I told you, nobody can ever have your destiny. It's yours. It's yours. So it was already built in for him to get his, regardless of what position, what shoot position he occupied. Okay, he was number 2 out the torpedo tube. All right. Sorry if that's I don't know. I'm just being a guy. Flood torpedo tube number 2. He came out the torpedo tube second, all right? And guess what he did? He blew up torpedo number 1 with that supplanting. Jacob, one who supplants. Now, let's keep on with this progression. So, I explained to you why he had to be named Jacob, because Jacob bore the energy of one who supplants. He needed that energy to get what was his, what was already destined for him from his brother. Now, here's the next part. Once he gets what is rightfully his, if he continues on in that name Jacob, he continues supplanting. There was no more need for him to supplant. So it was necessary in the beginning for him to be named Jacob, but after that, it was necessary for him to lose the name Jacob and pick up a new name. Now, why Jacob's name had to be changed to Israel? Let me read for you guys really quick. I'm going to give you 2 references. I'm going to give you the light version, and then I'm going to give you the steroids version. Okay. So here we go. We're going to go to Genesis. This is the first foundational scripture I gave you guys for tonight. Genesis chapter 32, verses 22 through 31. Let's bring that up. Thank you guys for being here tonight. All right. Let's see. Genesis, chapter 22. And I believe it's verse 22 through 31, is it? No, I didn't say that right. Hang on a second. Genesis 32. Let's fix that. 32. Verses 22 through 31. There we go. Okay. And let's go. So this is the account. This is the biblical 66 books account of how Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Again, I tell you guys to check multiple resources because other resources give you more detail that gives you a little bit more perspective. Here we go. I'm going to read the light version and then I'm going to read the steroids version. Okay, here we go. Genesis chapter 32, verses 22 through 31. And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons and passed over the ford Jabbok. 11 sons. Y'all saw that, right? A lot of people are still going by the story that Jacob had 12 sons. And it's as pop culture has fantasized, not fantasized, but, pop culture has made that the narrative when it is not. Jacob had 11 sons. Joseph did not take the name of a tribe. He had 2 sons, and his 2 sons became tribes 11 and 12, so to speak. Okay, so that is how that happened. Jacob had 11 sons. Now, let me read that again. And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons and passed over the ford Jabbok. And he took them and sent them over the brook and sent over that he had, whatever he had. Verse 24, and Jacob was left alone. And there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh. I'll explain that in a second. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed. So that was the name change. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name? And he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. And as he passed over Penuel, the sun rose up. That's a misprint there. One is Peniel, and this was Penuel. Anyway, and as he passed over Penuel, the sun rose up upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Therefore, the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrank, which is upon the hollow of the thigh unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh in the sinew that shrank. All right, I'm going to take that off the screen and give you guys what an image of what that hollow of the thigh looks like. Basically, what he did was he, let's see, let's copy this and paste this here. He basically knocked his hip out of socket. He knocked his hip out of socket. All right, let's show you guys what that looks like. Let's bring this up right here. View file. Oop, I'm not sharing. Hollow of the thigh right there. So he basically knocked his hip out of joint. He hit him in the groin area so hard that it knocked that hip out of joint. Now the sinew would be this right here, that tendon that goes all the way down and ultimately becomes the Achilles tendon. If you ever heard of anybody, you know, having an Achilles rupture or whatever, what one of the things they do when they go in there to operate it on it is they pull it back down because that band is so tight, it pops and goes up into the leg. So that is what that passage was referring to. Wanted to show you guys that. So you could search what is the hollow of the thigh and it'll give you some more, you know, images and such. But I just chose that one. So, all right, let's stop there. And now let's go back to the next reference because I want to show you guys the on steroids version of that account. Okay, let's see. Let's stay here. All right. This comes from the Antiquities, and I did put this in the chat. Antiquities of the Jews, Book 1, Chapter 20, Sections 1 and 2. I'm going to share that to the screen right now. Okay. Let us share. Thank you all for being here tonight. And after I get done with this section, I've got 4 sections. When I get done with this one, I'll stop and read some comments. All right. Josephus, the writings of Flavius Josephus. This is from Antiquities, Book 1, Chapter 20, sections 1 and 2, concerning the meeting of Jacob and Esau. Now, as Jacob was proceeding, let me make sure I'm sharing. I am. Now, as Jacob was proceeding on his journey to the land of Canaan, angels appeared to him and suggested to him good hope of his future condition, and that place he named the camp of God. And being desirous of knowing what his brother's intentions were to him, he sent messengers to give him an exact account of everything, as being afraid on account of the enmities between them. So he still had beef with his brother over that bowl of porridge. Okay. He charged those that were sent to say to Esau, Jacob had thought it wrong to live together with him while he was in anger against him, and so had gone out of the country, and that he now, thinking the length of time of his absence must have made up their differences, was returning, that he brought with him his wives and his children, with what possessions he had gotten, and delivered himself, with what was most dear to him, into his hands, and should think it his greatest happiness to partake together with his brother of what God had bestowed upon him. So he's still kind of in that energy, you know what I'm saying? But he's like, yo, man, tell him this, because I really don't want to fight that dude, because he really is that dude. That's my brother, and I don't want to fight him, man. He that dude. So go tell him this. Remember, his name is still Jacob, so he kind of still in that energy. Always scheming, always scheming. Verse 327. So these messengers told him this message, upon which Esau was very glad, and met his brother with 400 men. See, he rolled deep. And Jacob, when he heard that he was coming to meet him with such a number of men, was greatly afraid. However, he committed his hope of deliverance to the Most High, and considered how, in his present circumstances, he might preserve himself and those that were with him, and overcome his enemies if they attacked him injuriously. He therefore distributed his company into parts. Some he sent before the rest, and the others he ordered to come close behind, that so, if the first were overpowered when his brother attacked them, they might have those that followed as a refuge to fly into. Fly meaning flee, run to. 329. And when he had put his company in this order, he sent some of them to carry presents to his brother. The presents were made up of cattle and a great number of four-footed beasts of many kinds, such as would be very acceptable to those that received them on account of their rarity. Those who were sent went at certain intervals of space asunder, that by following thick one after another, they might appear to be more numerous, that Esau might remit of his anger on account of these presents, if he were still in a passion. See, Jacob always had a plan. Instructions were also given to those that were sent to speak gently to him. Okay, book, let's see, section 2. When Jacob had made these appointments all the day, and night came on, he moved on with his company. And as they were gone over the certain river called Jabbok, Jacob was left behind, and meeting with an angel, he wrestled with him. The angel beginning the struggle, but he prevailed over the angel, who used a voice and spake to him in words, exhorting him to be pleased with what had happened to him, and not to suppose that his victory was a small one, but that he had overcome a divine angel, and to esteem the victory as a sign of great blessings that should come to him, and that his offspring should never fail, and that no man should be too hard for his power. See that? So pay attention, y'all. He also commanded him to be called Israel, which in the Hebrew tongue signifies one that struggled with the divine angel. These promises were made at the prayer of Jacob, for when he perceived him to be the angel of God, he desired he would signify to him what should befall him hereafter. And when the angel had said what it and when the angel had said what is before related, he disappeared. But Jacob was pleased with these things, and named the place Phanuel, which signifies the face of God. Phanuel. Phanuel. Okay. Y'all, the way my mind works, I taught myself that Hebrew language chart over there, paleo, and I try to break everything down in accordance with that and see the picture in my mind. Anyway, now when he felt pain by this struggling upon his broad sinew, he abstained from eating that sinew himself afterward, and for his sake, it is still not eaten by us. Okay, so they wouldn't eat the Achilles tendon of whatever animal because of what happened with him. So that was something that was passed down. But the key to remember here, I read y'all the on steroids version. His name was changed to Israel. And it says in 333, which in the Hebrew tongue signifies one that struggled with the divine angel. Now, another interpretation I've heard of that is one who struggles with God. Okay. Yish. If you want to break it down using the Paleo Hebrew, you got the y, which is the arm and the hand. Okay. The sh, which is the teeth. Anytime you see the sh in the ancient Hebrew chart with the teeth, that typically means attacking or biting or fighting or struggling or defending. So that sh is like the teeth. So you got arm, you got teeth. Yish, ra can mean the head. It typically means the head, and then L. Okay, so you could look at that as like arm, fighting, head. L is L. Y'all know L typically means God or one of the gods or something. So something Elohim means multiple gods. Okay, they try to treat that like it's the name, a singular name of the Most High, but Elohim means multiple. Him is plural. Anytime you see YM in Hebrew, it's plural. So when you look at that name, his name was changed from one who supplants to one who wrestled the angel, or one who wrestles with the angel, or in some accounts, one who wrestles with God. Now, I'm going to show y'all something, okay? Because we're talking about the name progression, why his name had to be called Jacob, why it was changed to Israel. It wasn't just changed to Israel because, yeah, he successfully had a wrestling match with a divine being. That name carries. That name carries, right? What do I always say on this channel, y'all? With every what, there's a connected why. So that name, Israel, carried. It carries that meaning, but it carried on from generation to generation. Think about what these Israelites did throughout that time. They were always wrestling. God told them to do something, they wrestling, they struggling. But why? Why would he name them that if that was going to be one of the energies that it carried or one of the results? This is my opinion I'm giving you right now, because it's a lot of thought. This is my opinion. I always say with every what, there was connected why. There is a connected why. His name had to be the why for the what. What was the what? His name was he was named Jacob at birth. Why? Because he had to get in the energy of supplanting and usurping and tricking and deceiving people and doing this stuff to get to obtain stuff from people. Okay, using trickster energy to obtain. He had to do that and get good at it in order to be so comfortable with it that when the time came, he could get back the birthright that was already his. Now that he's gotten it back, hey, I can't have them continue to be in this energy, because each time you do something like that, you got to pay that karmic debt. I mean, think about it. He did all that tricking, and what did his father-in-law Laban do? He tricked him into marrying his daughter Leah. She probably wasn't going to get no husband. I'm just saying, the face probably wasn't there. Wasn't no dude going to roll up on her and be like, hey, you want to marry my daughter? Nah, man, I'm good. I ain't, I'm single right now. I'm trying to stay single right now. I'm good. Oh, that's your daughter, Rachel too? Yo, I changed my mind. Oh, no. I offered my daughter Leah. You don't want her. Forget it. No. Rachel, no. So Jacob, Rachel basically says, Daddy, this guy right here saved all of our lives. At the well, he's strong. He's saying, Daddy, I think he likes me. Hey, I want your daughter. Okay, well, my daughter's trying to be with you. I'll tell you what. Yeah. Work for me for 7 years and I'll let you marry my daughter. 7 years is up. Hey, can we have that wedding? Boom. Okay, you had a ceremony. Get him drunk. Take him in that marriage consummation chamber. Tricked you. It wasn't Rachel in there. It was Leah. Tricked you. See, so what happened was he got back the same trickster energy he put out. That's how the universe works. You got to get back that karma regardless, okay? So he could not continue on in that energy. That name had to be changed, okay? After he successfully defended himself against this divine being, I say this all the time, that was a proof of concept. That was the Most High saying, hey, he did say, he told Abraham, told his granddaddy, I'm going to make of thee a great nation. I'm going to make out of thee a great nation. But because of what they're going to be doing, remember, in the realm of the divine, in the realm outside of this realm, there is no linear time. There's only possibilities. So you already saw what these soon-to-be named Israelites were going to be going through in the different lands where they would find themselves. So there had to be a pedigree that they came from that made them strong enough to be able to defend themselves while being typically outnumbered every time they went to battle. So one who wrestles with God, think about it. The more wrestling you do with the Most High, it's like sparring. Hey, you know what? Think about it. You sparring. At that point, it's almost like you got to stay in this energy of sparring in order to get good. Look at any fighter. Any fighter who does not spar is not ready for a boxing match. If it's MMA, you just in there going through your forms, but you're not actually on that mat doing time sparring, you're not going to be ready when the real challenge comes. Them other cats are sparring. They're fighting all the time. You gotta be in that energy of constant wrestling in order to be able to stay sharp to defend yourself. So that name, in my opinion, had to be one who wrestles with God so that they could constantly be in that energy of wrestling with God. It came with the good and it came with the bad. The bad was, hey, look, I might not want to do what you want me to do. I might not want to do what you instructed me to do right now. But the flip side of it was, hey, you know what? As long as you are operating in the right energy, in the energy of righteousness, in the energy of obedience to the instruction, then ain't nobody around here going to be able to beat you. I just read that for you. I just read it for you. Ain't nobody around here going to be able to beat you. Why? Because you just beat a divine, and you're the offspring of one who defeated a divine being. Because these jokers around you are mortal, they ain't going to be able to touch you. You beat a divine. But now we're moving forward. I took y'all a long way around the block, okay? We're moving forward now. So now his name went from Jacob to Israel. I read to you those accounts in the Bible, in the book of Genesis and in the Antiquities. And now you have to understand that that name is ultimately going to be changed again. I'm going to get around to that. So what are we doing next? We're talking about how the unified nation of Israel ultimately split after the death of King Solomon and what happened to them. Now, this is, again, we're staying in alignment with the question from the community, which was, who is Judah? Who is Israel? All right. Who is Israel? Why does someone ask me, why does Judah always pick on Israel or whatever? Why are they always talking bad about Israel or whatever? I'm gonna get to that. I'm giving you my opinion at the end here. So we got to get to how they split, because at one time it was just Israel, right? Now you got Judah and you got Israel. Let me just explain really quick what happened. I'm not going to read anything. I'm going to give y'all, most of y'all know the backstory anyway. David or Saul was the first king of Israel. Israel was ruled by judges before then. Saul became the first, basically ruled by their peers, judges, appointed, but no one over them was like a king, okay? Saul was the first king. Shout out to those of y'all watching the House of David on Amazon Prime Video. I did a video on that. That was my last live stream. Check that out if you have not seen it. I'll put a link in the description box. Now, Saul was the first king. David replaced Saul. David was succeeded by his son, Solomon. Solomon, after his death, was succeeded by his son. If I'm not mistaken, the name was Rehoboam or something like that. Rehoboam, whatever. Anyways, too many Oboms back then. One of them had a J, one had an R. I'm not gonna pull it up right now. Okay, y'all put it in the chat if it's I think it's Rehoboam. Anyway, he did not want to listen to the elders and give the northern tribes a break. Solomon had been working the AT double hockey sticks out of them. Okay, for those of y'all who know, Solomon was sending sailors over to so-called Turtle Island. I'm not gonna get deep into that, but he was sending them a remote off across the seas to get gold and bring it back. Okay, documented. This is how certain individuals knew why were the Spanish looking for gold in the Americas? How did they know? How did they know there was gold over here? Story for another day. Anyway, Solomon was working the AT double hockey sticks out of them. Okay, Solomon wanted to build that grandiose temple, all of this stuff. All right, when he passed away, the elders who had served Solomon told his son, listen, give the people a break. Your daddy worked them too hard. Give them a break. They're going to love you forever. He listened to his boys. What y'all think I should do? Man, you keep working them up. Man, do what your daddy did. Keep working them mother. Who they think they are? Man, you the king, man. Work them. So there's like, all right, this is what we doing? Tell you what, we taking our tool bags and we going home. So the northern tribe split. That's what happened. They split. Okay. Northern tribe split. And those who were under the house of Judah, they stayed. Okay. Those who were under that lineage of David, who came from Judah, that Judah lineage, they stayed. So now instead of you having the northern kingdoms, they retained the name Israel. The northern 10 tribes retained the name Israel. The southern, it was Judah, Benjamin, and I believe the Levites. They kept the Levites weren't necessarily like a tribe like that, but anyway, they kept they stayed with the name Judah. So you had the house of Judah and the house of Israel. They split. Okay, kingdom of Judah, kingdom of Israel. Now we know that the two of them also, because they started doing the same wicked devices of the people around them, the Most High got mad at them and allowed them to be defeated and run up off the land. Pardon me. Anytime they've ever been that much wickedness by the children of the Most High, the chosen of the Most High, on the land he gave to their fathers, he like, nah, this land can't even, man, y'all so wicked the land can't even take y'all no more. The land crying out for how wicked y'all are. Y'all spilling blood in this land, doing all kind of weird things. Nah, y'all got to get up out of here. Y'all got to get up out of here and get y'all got to go to some remedial training. I'm going to put you under this harsh servitude under these people. So the Assyrians came and got the northern kingdom. The Babylonians later came and got the southern kingdom. They split. Okay. So that's what happened there. They split under the son of Solomon, and the rest is kind of history. Now, where did those divided kingdom parts go? Where did they go? All right. I just told you the southern kingdom went to Babylon. What happened? Eventually, the Babylonians were defeated by the Persians, and King Cyrus of the Persians told the children of Judah they could go back home and rebuild their temple. He's like, look, I ain't got no more use for y'all. I just freed y'all from your oppressor. I ain't got no use for you. Go back home and rebuild your culture. So that was under Cyrus. Okay. Now, in the north, scholars debate. They've been debating for centuries on what happened to the northern kingdom, but I'm gonna show you in scripture what happened. Okay. Because we getting down to the answer to your question there, to the subscriber that sent that question through. So let's turn now to the book. This is the next. I told you I got some foundational scriptures for you guys. Let's go to the book of Second Esdras. Okay, Second Esdras. We're going to deal with chapter 13. We got about 6 or 7 verses in chapter 13, book of Second Esdras. So let's bring that up. You know what? Let me pause here and read some comments, y'all, because I'm way back. Let me read some comments. Got Jojo Mac. Let's see. What's up, Bella? Thank you for being here. G. Keith Walker asked, who is Yahuwah, pronounced Yahuwah Da? Those with Abbas Kodesh name Yahuwah. That's the true question. I'm not going to deal with that tonight, but I appreciate it. Anybody that wants to tackle that, go ahead. Bella said, was just watching one of Matt's videos on not caring about others' opinions and following your soul's calling. And here we are. Wow. Wow, Bella. What a synchronicity. I like to say you because the name you are given always seems true. Yep. What's up, Karen? Let's see. Capri Truth. Capri 10 said truth. He was living up to his name. His destiny had to come to pass. None could stop it nor swap it. He was chosen before in the womb. Exactly. Due to that fight, Israelites didn't eat thighs, but today they still refuse to stop eating it. That's funny. The artery is in that sinew. The artery in that sinew carries blood. We are not to eat blood. Gotcha. So meat eaters only eat the best parts of the breast and wings, not thighs. Well, that ship sailed a long time ago. Let's see. Allie Rule. Let's see. Hello, fam. What's up, Allie? Thank you for being here tonight. Let's see. Peace, Allie. Gotcha. Wow, I never thought of that. Capri 10. I see why I never liked legs when I ate meat. Wow. You're welcome, Lady Dagstad. Scriptures are mystical, supreme knowledge simplified for us. Yup. Green Tambourine said this makes sense to see different views. He was wrestling with the angel, perhaps bless him on his journey to meet his brother. Right. Saying he was not going to leave him alone until he blessed him, to me means he may have been nervous. LOL. Yeah, he wanted something. He was like, give me something. Yeah, like I did all of this fighting with you, man, and I lasted. I got to get something from you, man. Yeah, I ain't letting you go till you give me something. So that's the way I see that. But what was I going to say to that? Interestingly enough, when you read the Antiquities, you understand. A lot of people don't know this, but who was it? What is his name? Geez. Oh man, y'all, I'm missing it. Let me search it. Hang on, real quick. Let's see. Nimrod. That's what I was looking for. So Nimrod at that time, y'all, was the most feared warrior in the land. He was feared. He was feared by everybody. Guess who wasn't scared of him? Esau. Guess who took Nimrod out? Esau. See that? Everything has a purpose. So here, the most feared warrior and hunter in the land, Nimrod. Y'all read the Antiquities. It's in there. I'm not going to read that tonight. Maybe that's a story for another day. But Esau, of all people, took out Nimrod. And he did that after making up with his brother. Spoiler alert. After him and his brother made peace, he took down Nimrod. That Esau was a bad boy. He was. He had his purpose. Not celebrating him because I know some of y'all religious people are like, oh, he's celebrating Esau. That's why I'm not religious right there. Some of y'all can't even be practical. Some of you can't be practical for being religious. Anyway, let me get back on. I'm caught up. I think I'm caught up in the, am I caught up in the chat, y'all? Hang on. Yeah, I'm caught up in the chat. So now let me get back to my notes here. Thank y'all again for being here. And thank y'all for keep it coming in the chat, man, because I learned so much from you guys as well. Now, so we talked about how they split after the kingdom was divided. Now, here we go. We're talking about where they went, okay? We know that Judah went back to what was then called Judah after that, because it wasn't called Israel anymore, because the kingdom split and Israel went into a different captivity. They went into captivity under the Assyrians. The men and women, the Judites, went under captivity under the Babylonians, okay? Cyrus the Persian defeated them and released them to go back home. But where did the northern kingdom go? We're going to read that right now. Let's share this to the screen. 40, okay? I'm just going to skip ahead in this because this is a long chapter. But this comes from 2nd Esdras chapter 13, okay? All right, so I'm skipping ahead to verse 40, reading verses 40 through 46. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmansar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took counsel among themselves, this is the northern kingdom, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. Interestingly enough, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half, and that same region is called Arsareth. Then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come. Okay? All right, until the latter time. Now, you right on it. You're right on it, Brian. Brian, you're right on it. You're right on it. Now, let me give y'all some background on that. First of all, let me explain. Let me break down the Hebrew translation of the meaning of Arsareth. I'm going to do this in my own terms. Okay? When you break down Arsareth, you got to break it down into parts. Okay? Ars, Sar, Ruth. Okay? Ars, Sar, Ruth. Now, I don't know if I want to put this in front of the camera or not. It might be a little bit too big. You know what? I don't want to disrupt that. Let me do this. If you look at modern Hebrew, the word, let me tell y'all up front what it means to me, and then I'll show you the breakdown. Arsareth to me means the land of the either ministers or chief rulers, something chief rulers, and then Tha in Paleo Hebrew is the two crossed sticks, and it usually means a mark or a sign or a covenant. So when you put that together, Ars, and again in modern Hebrew, Ars is Eretz. I think Eretz is Eretz, and it's the word for land. I'm gonna bring it up on the translator. Let me bring up the translator webpage. Hang on a second, y'all. We're gonna break this thing down. Let's see. Land. Let's change this to Hebrew. All right. Let me put this on the screen. Okay, as you can see, land. I'm going to try to make this bigger. Land, Eretz. Eretz, okay? Now, when you look at this and you pronounce it without the nikud, the little dots that they added that the Europeans added to insinuate or to put vowels there, to be vowel markers. If you get rid of the nikud and you just pronounce that in that Paleo Hebrew style, that would be arts. So you got a sadi here. Let's go right to left. You got the ah, the ra, and the tsa. So you got arts. Arts, okay? That's land. That's land, okay? And then sar, let's go there. Let me see. Hang on one sec. Okay, let's go here. This is a basic search. What does SAR mean in Hebrew? It brings up Strong's Hebrew 8269. Prince, ruler, leader, chief. Okay. And now I don't have the Hebrew keyboard here. But I'm gonna show you the other meaning of it. So if you go SAR, now this is the Shah, but they put the dot over it and the little T thingy over there to change that. In modern Hebrew, they take the Shah symbol and they can use it as an S or an SH. When it has the dot over the left side of the character, then it turns it into an S. But when you remove that, it's a sh sound. So again, this Nikud thing, they Europeanized it. Let's call it what it is. They Europeanized it. Now, let's get rid of that and stop. Oops, I didn't mean to stop sharing that. Hang on. Let's go back here. I don't have. All right, let's do this. Okay. Let me make the screen smaller so it'll all fit. Breaking down Arsareth. This is what we're doing. Now, that's the alternate meaning, minister. Okay, minister, or minister in the West is secretary. Secretary of State or Secretary of Defense in the West is a minister of defense in the East. Okay, minister, which is a servant. Okay, servant or custodian, if you will. Minister in English, if you translate that to Hebrew, it's shar. Same word you saw over there for sar, but now they changed the little Nikud characters here. So it's shar.
Sam.
Oh, it's still being pronounced sar. So there it is. It's showing here shar, but she still pronounces it sar. Listen again.
Sam.
Let me see if I can change the mic pattern. Hang on.
Sam.
Okay, so you hear it. Ars with eretz in modern Hebrew, eretz, sar, minister, or if you use the other definition, prince, ruler, leader, chief. Okay, to have dominion over, to rule. Y'all see that, right? Derived from a root word meaning to have dominion over or to rule. And then I told y'all, tha is the crossed sticks in Paleo Hebrew. That means covenant. So you put it all together, it is the land of the ministers or the chiefs or the rulers of the covenant. Now, when you bring that passage of scripture back up, let's share it again. What was the purpose? What was the purpose? Verse 41. But they took counsel among themselves. This is 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. Verse 41. Let's go back to 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Osea the king, whom Salmansar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. And so they came into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt, that they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land, that they might keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. Land, Arsareth, land of the ministers or the prince or chiefs or rulers of the covenant, Arsareth. All right, land of them people. Right? What's up, Hotshot? Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, Hotshot. Thank you for joining. Now, let's see. Verse 45. Oops, I took it off the screen too soon. Verse 45. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth. Now, let me get that off the screen. Did I put the link in here, Matt? Did you put the link in here, bro? Did I put the link in, y'all? I hope I did. Huh. I did not put the link in there. Y'all stand by for just 1 second. I got to go and grab my tablet. I'll be right back. Okay, family, I'm back. Let me send this link from my tablet to my desktop here. Copy and paste. Okay, I'm going to share this to the screen. I think some of you guys are going to find this fascinating. All right, Arsareth from the Jewish Encyclopedia. Okay, the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of the restoration, according to 4 as ESD. I'm not sure what that reference is. 45 XIII 45. Columbus identified America with this land. See Kaiserling's Christopher Columbus, translated by Dr. C. Gross, page 15. The name, it has been suggested by Schiller Zenesi, is taken from Deuteronomy. Let's see, what would that be? 29 and 24 through 27. Because they forsook the covenant of the Lord and went and served other gods, the Lord rooted them out of their land and cast them into another land. There's that name again, Eretz Hareth, Eretz Haret, as this day. The passage is made to refer in Mishnah to the 10 tribes. I'm going to skip all of those citations, but different opinions are expressed by Akiba and Eleazar. The traditions are rather confused as to the names, whether the 10 tribes may be expected to return or not, since this point is not determined in the scriptural verse. One, it is, if you know what you're reading. Anyway, one of them takes the words as this day to signify that as the day goeth, but doth not return, so shall they who are cast off not return. The other explains the words, as the day begins with the darkness of the night, but turns into day, so shall the darkness of their banishment be turned into bright daylight. That's a little bit more. Now, I don't read no Mishnah, none of that. That ain't our book. But anyway, the fourth book of Esdras took the latter view, which was adopted also by R. Judah Hanasi in the Tosefta, who refers to Isaiah 27 and 13. Okay, I'm not sure why they use Roman numerals mixed with cardinal numbers. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so as you can see, even in the Jewish Encyclopedia, they kind of know what time it is. Now, we also know this gives further clarification as to why Christopher Columbus, in his maiden voyage, had a Hebrew-speaking Negro to serve as translator, one who spoke the old tongue. He didn't just speak what was being spoken on the Iberian Peninsula. He spoke the old tongue. That's why they got him. Now, why would you get a Hebrew-speaking, brown-skinned person to serve as a translator unless you knew you were going to go and encounter people that look just like him? Y'all stick with me. So there's your Northern Kingdom. There's your Northern Kingdom. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. What's next? Lady Dagger Status said, let's see. We got Hot Shot. Hello. Okay. So this is so fun. I hope he saves it. Oh, yeah. I'll definitely be saved, Jennifer. Thank you regarding this topic. I will go back and catch the beginning when this is done. I really appreciate you for teaching on this. My pleasure. My pleasure. Okay. She said I'm going to have to going to start having a notebook. This is class. Hey, thank you so much, Lady Dagger Status. Brian said, Matt, you touched on some key points. Predestined. Also, the Most High said on 2 occasions, I knew you before you were in your mother's womb and before the foundations of the earth. Keyword is new. Thank you. Thank you. I love that, Brian. I love that. I love that. All right. So let me move on now. So now we got it. We know who the Northern Kingdom is. We know where they went. We know where Arsareth is. We know that is the one reference. And for all of the people who used to say, because I've known this for a while, the people would say, well, it says the land uninhabited or land not inhabited or whatever. Pardon me, y'all. I'm like, listen, go to Canada, go to Quebec or Montreal or something like that, and just Toronto, and just keep driving north. How long do you think you're going to drive before you get to some land that there's nothing out there but trees, woods, water, and animals. Land uninhabited. What if once upon a time all of the Americas was just like that? We don't know. We don't know. Now, I get the argument that people say, hey, look, we were here already, but the Northern Kingdom left and went to a land uninhabited. But anyway, I'm not going to spend any more cycles on that. I just wanted to break down the Hebrew translation of the meaning of Arsareth. I wanted to give it to you in my terms. Now, I am going to move on to part 3. Part 3 says, why the name Israel matters. So with that, I'm going to give you guys prophecy concerning Israel. Both the blessings and the curses are for the descendants. Okay, so this is why the name Israel matters. I mean, remember, in the title I said why it matters, why it doesn't. Okay, shout out again to to someone who I did not give me permission to say that they're the person that the questioning came from. But if they want to volunteer that, it is totally up to them. But shout out to that subscriber that was the catalyst for this breakdown tonight. So now that was that. Let me talk again now, because the title is Who is Judah, Who is Israel, and why it matters, why it doesn't. So here we go. He said you must be going to hit Deuteronomy 28. Not tonight. I did a separate breakdown of Deuteronomy 28, Brian. So I'm not gonna dig in on that one tonight. Now, why the name Israel matters. I said in the title, who is Judah, who is Israel, why it matters, why it doesn't. Let me tell you why it matters. It's what I say all the time. Two things, the only two things any church pastor, I was about to say worth, I'm not going to go there. The only two things any church pastor should be teaching right now, not preaching, should be teaching right now are prophecy and identity. What have I been saying on this channel for the last 3-4 years, y'all? Prophecy is what is coming. Identity is who is coming to. Who gets what? What lot belongs to which persons in prophecy. That is why identity is so important. So that is why the name Israel matters. It matters because it has everything to do with the prophecy concerning the end times prophecy concerning Israel. There's a lot in that book that has been fulfilled. There's a little bit more left. And the story of this book, when I tell people that this book only goes with this age, and once the return has happened, once the biblical children of Israel are returned to the land that was given to their fathers, and I'm not on here arguing because I know a lot of my brothers and sisters teach that the biblical land of Israel is here in what I just said was Arsareth. Some people are teaching that, well, ancient Israel and ancient Egypt are here. I can definitely see the argument when you understand how energy portals work. Let me say that. I can definitely see the argument for Egypt here and people talking about the hidden places in the Grand Canyon region and the spiritual energy that's at Sedona and where these different pyramids are all over the United States and whatever. I get all of that. Okay. I'm not here trying to argue location or anything like that. But again, the story ends when the book closes when the biblical children of Israel are back in the land that was given to their fathers. There's some other signifiers that suggest that the biblical children of Israel are back in the land that was given to their fathers. And the biggest of which for me is that the land is at rest and there's no more war. Now, some folks, the 1948 folks, say that prophecy was fulfilled in 1948. But guess what? They ain't matching. That land has been at war since before 1948 and is still at war today. So as they say back in the hood, somebody lying. All right. There's that. So this book, the Bible, once the biblical children of Israel are returned back to their ancient homeland, that book is going to be retired. It's going to be retired. It's going to be archived. Why? Because the story is then complete. It's like a script that goes with a saga, like Game of Thrones. Once that final episode played in season 8, Game of Thrones was closed. It's the same thing with this book. It's the same thing. It's going away. Now, but there's some prophecy that has yet to be fulfilled. And that is why the name Israel matters. It matters because Israel is the recipient of that prophecy. Now, let's see. And that prophecy was concerning both the blessings and the curses. Since you mentioned Deuteronomy 28, yes, Deuteronomy 28 factors in. It has factored in. But There's some parts that remain. Now, for the Deuteronomy 28 people that only apply the siege to the siege of Jerusalem, that would not be accurate because there were other sieges that happened to the northern kingdom. That is why that invasion had to happen from the Europeans, because that prophecy was given to the whole of Israel. It wasn't just given to Judah. Judah occupied and held down Judea, as the history books call it, after they were returned from the Babylonian captivity. Israel went to Arsareth. We're in Arsareth. Now, the tribes are still scattered all around the planet. That you can read some of that in the different books, Jeremiah, Isaiah. They're still scattered in the islands of the north, the islands of the sea, the north country, all this other stuff. They're scattered everywhere. But that prophecy is not fulfilled until everybody's back home. Now, let's see, what do I have here? Prophecy concerning Israel, both the blessings and the curses are for the descendants, the seed of Jacob, and the seed of Jacob only. The blessings and the curses, as were listed in those prophecies, apply to the seed of Jacob and the seed of Jacob only. The seed of Jacob are not the only people that are occupying the planet. That's why the name matters. Okay? So, regardless of how much Judaism and Christianity try to lead you to believe so, conversion does not give you inclusion into a covenant. I'm going to say that again because I know I got some detractors watching this. Regardless of how much Judaism and Christianity, I named two of the three Abrahamic religions. Islam they ain't got a dog in this fight. This ain't their argument. They could care less about what we're talking about tonight. I'm talking about Judeo-Christianity, which is comprised of Judaism and Christianity. Regardless of how much Judaism and Christianity try to lead you to believe so, conversion, religious conversion, does not give you inclusion into a covenant. You're either named in a will and a trust, or you are not. That's how that works. You're named in a will and a trust, or you're not. So if the Most High had a covenant with a particular lineage, you cannot convert to the ways or the lifestyle of that particular lineage, turn it into a religion and say, hey, this is open to everybody. You can't write your name into a will that ain't got your name on it originally. You can't convert your way into it. You can't, if my great-great-granddaddy left me an inheritance, you can't say, well, because I roll with Matt, I roll with Matt, I do everything Matt does. Man, I'm a joint heir with Matt to his inheritance. That's not how that works. That is why the name Israel matters. Okay? Now stick with me because I'm going to turn around right now and tell you why it doesn't matter. This is part 4. This is the final part. Part 4. Here's why the name Israel does not matter. I hope y'all ready because some of y'all might be getting triggered by this. This is why I told you why it matters. Now I'm going to tell you why it doesn't matter. Matt, you're confusing me. I'm a Libra rising. It's the balance scales. Okay? And I'm a Capricorn that's about getting that work done. I'm a Capricorn sun with Libra rising. That Capricorn sun in me is here to solve a problem. That's what Capricorns do. We're problem solvers. We're experts at it. We're born and placed on this planet to solve problems. If you want a Capricorn to listen to you just ramble about something, nah, we ain't about that life. Now, if you got a problem, that Capricorn like, oh, okay, well, let me see if I can help you figure that one out. That's what we do. Now, as a Capricorn problem solver with a Libra rising, I'm gonna keep it balanced. I told you why the name matters. Now I'm gonna tell you why the name don't matter. Okay, so this is again to that question. Who is Israel? Who is Judah? Why do these people? I'm gonna go back and read the description box copy at the end, so I'll make sure I've answered that question. Okay, because I told you I have an opinion to render on it that is not based in fact. You can't base it in fact. It's only an opinion. Now, here's why the name does not matter. The name is now vain and corrupt. For starters, the name Israel is now vain and corrupt. It is now vain and corrupt. How is it vain and corrupt? Well, because somebody took the name over that wasn't Israel. Somebody who was not the seed of Jacob. Somebody who was not the seed of Abraham. Somebody took that name over and they basically they hijacked it and ran with it. Okay? They could be the seed of Abraham. Let me say that. Because Abraham had Isaac, and Isaac and Rebekah had Jacob and Esau. So they could be descendants of Esau. Let me not say there. Let me correct that. They could be the seed of Abraham. but they're not the seed of Jacob. They're not the seed of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. So the name is now corrupt because somebody who ain't Israel adopted the name Israel when Israel fell out of power, when they fell out of self-rule. Somebody else picked that name up and ran with it. And by that name, began planting themselves in lands that were not the lands. Let me stop there. Let me read some scripture. Okay? That's the first answer. The name doesn't matter because the name is now vain and corrupt. But the Most High knew that was coming. I'm gonna show you right here in scripture how he knew that the name was coming. I mean that the hijack was coming. Let's get back here on this KJV. Let's go to the book of Isaiah. I got all the foundational scriptures at the top of the chat, y'all. So y'all can go there and write those down if you came in late. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 62. All right, here we go. Isaiah chapter 62, verses 1 through 4. I'm going to share it to the screen. Thank you all again for being here tonight. I really appreciate you guys' participation here tonight, ladies and fellas. Isaiah chapter 62, verses 1 through 4. For Zion's sake will I not hold my peace, and for Jerusalem's sake I will not rest, until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory. And thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name. Thou shalt also be a crown of glory in the hand of the Most High, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy God, thy power. Thou shalt no more be termed forsaken, neither shall thy land any more be termed desolate, but thou shalt be called Hephzibah, and thy land Beulah, for the Lord delighteth in thee, and thy land shall be married. Okay, so that's pretty much the interpretation of those last two sentence portions are the interpretation of Hephzibah and Beulah. Okay, Beulah married, Hephzibah, the Lord delighteth in thee. Okay, but he said a new name. Those are not the names. It said they shall be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name. All right. Now, why would he do that? Why would he do that? Why would he say they're going to be called by a new name, but not put it in the book? I told you, in the realm of the divine, in the realm outside of this realm, there is no linear time. There's only possibilities, and all possibilities are seen. We see we're sometimes we're controlled by this illusion called time. Look what they just did yesterday. Hey, move the clock forward 1 hour. All of those are confusion spells. That's all they are. They're confusion spells that make you think, to just mess with your perception of what time is. But this is why for 2 videos before that, y'all, I told y'all, don't pay attention to the clock. Pay attention. I mean, use the clock. Use it as a benchmark, but pay attention to the equinoxes. The only thing that matters are the solstices and the equinoxes. Those are the corners. In astrology, they're called angles. I know I'm taking down the side road a minute, but you got the summer solstice, which is the longest day of the longest 2 days of the year, longest 2 days and change of the year. That's the summer solstice. And then the winter solstice, the longest 2 nights of the year. And then you got the equinoxes, the spring equinox, an equal number of daylight hours and evening and nighttime hours. The fall equinox, an equal number of daylight hours and nighttime hours. So when you hit that spring equinox, next week is it, or the week after, about 10 days from now, whatever, pay attention to what time the sun comes up and what time the sun goes down. It's going to be the same, roughly the same. Let's say, for example, let's say 8 o'clock p.m. or whatever, and it's going to be the same. That's why they call it equinox. It's equal number of daylight hours and nighttime hours. 3 months later, you're going to have the longest day. 3 months after that, you're going to have an equal number of daylight hours and nighttime hours. 3 months after that, you're going to have the longest night. All right? That's for all my 13-month people. You can slice a 360-degree pie, however many slices you want, but it's still going to be 360 degrees. You're still going to have them 4 angles, okay? You're still going to have 0 degrees, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270 degrees. You're still going to have that. It's going to be the same thing, all right? Now, let's get back on that. I don't even know why I went off like that. But my point is, A new name is going to be named. That's why I got there. In the realm outside of here, there's only possibilities. So we get thrown off by looking at time, while the realm of the divine, they're looking at possibilities. They already knew that somebody was going to come along and hijack the name. So it was written not to put the name in there. If we put the name in here, they're going to take that name too. Nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't going to do that. So the name don't matter. The name Israel, that's one reason it doesn't matter. Okay? Next, okay? The name is now vain and corrupt. Read Isaiah 62 and 1 through 4 and elaborate. Also read Micah 4 and 1 through 5. I don't think I need to read Micah 4 and 1 through 5. I mentioned that earlier, but I don't think I need to read that here. I don't think it necessarily applies. So, you know what? I'm going to read it anyway. I'll put it in there. Let me read it. Let me read Micah 1 and 4 through 5. We're talking about why the name Israel does not matter. So all of this Israel, who's Judah, it matters, and it also does not matter. Let's read Micah 1 and 4 through 5. Told y'all this is a spiritual book. It's a history book, a spiritual book, a book of prophecy. This is not a religious book. None of this stuff has anything to do with religion. All right? Micah 4 and 1 through 5. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Most High shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, Come and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord and the house of the God of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. These are all the other nations. For the law shall go forth out of Zion, and the word of the Most High from Jerusalem. This is why they hijacking. Look, there's a hijack going on. There's a hijack. I read my last live stream. I read that letter that the Sanhedrin Council sent to President Trump, asking him to basically write legislation for the entire planet with regards to religion. They're hijacking it. I told y'all back in 2020, everything is going back east. The West has got to rest. The West has been too much bloodshed over here. Too much wicked activity, too much bloodshed, too much stuff done to children, too much destruction of the land, too much no respect for animals. And I'm not a PETA person by any stretch of the imagination, but there's a way that animals, even animals that you're going to slaughter for food, there's a way they're supposed to be treated. A lot of people are messed up because they're eating meat that came from a stressed out animal, an animal that was horrified before he died. Then you wonder why 15, 20, 30 minutes after a meal, you all emotional and stuff. You got the hormones that were released from that animal's endocrine system into its flesh before it was slaughtered. Especially if you're an empath. Especially if you're an empath. You're an empath, you better get you some halal or some kosher meat, one of the two. I'm just saying. So anyway, for the law shall go forth out of Zion and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem, which everything's going back east, but they trying to get ahead of it. They trying to get ahead of this prophecy and set themselves up to run the show. But the Most High laughing at them. He's laughing at them. Verse 3, and he shall judge among many people and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. What's that song? We ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. That's where that comes from. That's where that comes from. Verse 4, but they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree. Does that sound like anybody going to a supermarket to buy food? Y'all help me with that. It said, but they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of the Most High hath spoken it. For all people will walk everyone in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever. I told y'all, there's more than one God. It's like fantasy football out here. As above, so below. We're incarnations of cosmic beings. So guess what? You are probably assigned to a God in the cosmos. Which one are you assigned to? We don't know. But what we do know is that there's some universal principles called righteousness and unrighteousness. It don't matter who you're assigned to. Now, if you were assigned to one of them dark lords, then you probably don't know what righteousness means. You probably can only be unrighteous. But even that has its purpose. I'm not going to get into that right now. I needed to read that for somebody. I don't know why. I don't even remember why I put it in there now. But let me keep moving. The name, number one, the name is vain and corrupt. Okay, I read Isaiah 62 and 1 through 4 and elaborated. There's a new name coming. Told you why that name hadn't been named yet, because the hijackers would have hijacked that name too. Next, I'm going to read the book of Titus, verses 8 through 9. Let's go there. We're almost done, y'all. Wait a minute, there are more than one site. Okay, how did I do this? Eights. Okay, y'all, I messed that one up. Hang on a second. Let me see if it's in chapter 2. No, that's not it. Wait a minute, y'all. I got something. I'm off here. Y'all stand by. I may have given y'all. Okay. It's Titus chapter 3. Okay, that reference up. I forgot to put the chapter in there. It is Titus chapter 3. There are 3 chapters in Titus. Y'all forget my earlier mistake. Okay, charge it to lack of sleep and not my heart. Okay, Titus chapter 3. Let me put that in the chat here. Okay, correction on that foundational scripture. That is Titus chapter 3, verses 8 through 9. Okay, now let me bring that up on the screen here. All right, why the name doesn't matter still. Why the name does not matter. I told you why it did. Now I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't. And then you roll. You can actually be both, believe it or not. You can roll in both energies. It's called balance. Titus chapter 3, verses 8 through 9. This is a faithful saying, and these things I will that thou affirm constantly, that they which have believed in God might be careful to maintain good works. These things are good and profitable unto men. But avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. I'm gonna read those 2 verses again, because that's a lot of what you see going on out here. And this hopefully answers the question to that subscriber that wanted to know, wanted my thoughts on, let me go back really quick to that. Hang on a sec. Who they are and why there's so much criticism. Northern Kingdom, let's see. Video was inspired by a question from a subscriber seeking additional clarity regarding the storied tribe of Judah and the 10 tribes collectively known as the Northern Kingdom and the Kingdom of Israel. Who are they and why is there so much criticism of the Northern Kingdom by those who consider themselves Judah? Well, there's your answer right there. Hold on. See what they do, y'all. This is what they do. They start messing with me when I'm trying to share the screen. Let me bring this back up here. Hang on a sec. Oh, I see what they did. Never mind. Okay, never mind. So I just read Titus 8 through 9. Let me bring that back up. Let's see if this is tripping. Come on, don't play with me. Oh, see, this is what they do. Let me remove that. I got to do it a different way now. Hang on. Hopefully y'all saw that on the screen. All right, let me do this. Let's copy this over here. Oh, you always got to work around, y'all. Y'all know how it is. We have Mercury retrograde coming up too. Y'all know how it is. That's all right. I can work around it. Let's see. All right, let's see. Work around it. Ha! Hold that for me. Since y'all want to play with it, brother. Hold that for me. See? I don't want to do that. That's what I want to do right there. Verses 8 through 9. This is a faithful saying, and these things, let me highlight it. So this is a faithful saying. Will they let you highlight on the fly like that? Oh, I don't want to do all that. Stop. You ain't logging in. We ain't doing all that. This is a faithful saying, and these things I will that thou affirm constantly, that they which have believed in God might be careful to maintain good works. Basically, do your job. Do what you came here to do. These things are good and profitable to men. But avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and strivings about the law. How much of that do you not see with these camp brothers? How much of that do you not see? Yeah, y'all ain't keeping the law, man. Man, the law said, man, you ain't supposed to be eating that pork. Put that pork sandwich down. Put that Jimmy Dean sausage biscuit down, brother. Put that down. Most High said you ain't supposed to do that. Most High said. Most High also said you ain't got no business telling me. Turn to Jeremiah the 31st chapter. Since we talking about what the Most High said. Most High said you ain't got no business telling me how to live my life, because it's already written on the inside of my heart. Okay. Messiah said the kingdom of God is within you, not outside of you. So you can keep moving. Turn your bullhorn off, or at least put it on mute till I walk by and get my card. Then you can turn it back on full blast. Thank you. See what I'm saying? So can it be kosher pork chops? I don't think so. What's up, Bernadette? What is up? All right, y'all. Let me get back on this. And wrap up. So that was Titus 8-9. Avoid the vain. He said that avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and strivings about the law. That basically says you ain't even got to be out here arguing with nobody about I'm the tribe of Judah. I'm the tribe of Israel. I'm the northern kingdom. That stuff doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All it does matter is that, hey, you know what? You're listed. You're among the offspring of Jacob. Which tribe doesn't matter at this point. At this stage in the game, it doesn't matter, right? So the reality of things is this, family. The time is so short right now that it no longer matters. I did a prediction video last year stating that 2025 would be the long prophesied second exodus of the Israelites. Y'all can go watch that video. That has been one of my most popular videos since I dropped it. It's gotten some of the most views. Now, not all time. I won't talk about that. I had 2 videos go viral, but that one right there has been one of the most popular and steady videos on my channel. So in it, I predicted that 2025, I told you why. I gave you some numerological and astrological reasons why I felt like 2025 is the end of the show. It's going to be the long prophesied and long awaited second exodus of the Israelites. But now check this out. There are more and more awakened souls that are seeing the same thing, although through different lenses. Now, the first time I heard somebody talk about, there's a brother I used to hit his channel heavy. I don't watch it much at all anymore, but I still pop in every now and then to see what he's doing, see what he's talking about, see what's going on, because he does drop some current events sometimes and ties that stuff to prophecy. I do not watch a lot of current events at all, unless it's being put out by some of my favorite podcasters or bloggers, like what's her name, Kim Iverson or Jimmy Dore. I like to watch them. I get the news from watching them. I don't watch mainstream media platforms anymore. But anyway, this brother's name is Matthias Ben Yasharallah. I used to watch his channel heavy back in the day, and he predicted that this year's Passover would be something significant of biblical proportion. That was the first place I heard it. And then there's another brother by the name of what is his name? His name is Chiki Okugu something. He's got a Nigerian name. I'm gonna bring up his channel. He shared a video with me in the comments underneath that second Exodus video that I checked out this morning, and I thought I said, you know what? That's so fascinating. I'm going to show it tonight. So I'm going to show you guys that this time is so short. You ain't got time to be arguing over nor the people that's doing that to the subscriber that dropped that question. People that's doing that, they don't understand the critical nature of the timing that we're in right now. They don't understand it. They're like, get off of that. That don't even matter at this point. And I'm gonna give you one more reason why it doesn't matter. But first, I'm gonna show you this video. Let me bring it up. All right, let's see.
So right here,
Hang on. We're not ready. We're not ready yet. We're not ready, Ma. Hang on. This is from Chika Ogoki. Yo, shout out to you, Chika. Thank you again for sharing the video. I want to show this tonight, so I'm showing this under fair use. But y'all check this out. I'm about to share it to the screen. You know what? The thing is tripping now. I don't even know if I'll be able to. Let me see. Is it going to come back? It's not coming back, y'all. Nope. All right, let me remove it. I'll see if I can't cheat and do this a different way. Okay, let's turn that off. Y'all, this thing is all the way tripping now. There we go. All right. Woo! Mercury retrograde and ain't even fully here yet, and this stuff is already tripping. Let me do this. Let me pop this in a tab and see if I can do it this way. All these workarounds. That's all right. You got to come to no, not yet. You got to come to the sometimes you got to make sure you come to the to a job site with more than one tool. Here we go. Don't come to combat with just one weapon. You might need another one. Let's try this. Share screen. Let's see if this will get it. All right. Oh, looks like I might be in good shape here. Yeah, I am. Okay, good. All right, let's play this.
So right here, this is in my Sefer Bible. The Sefer is like an updated KJV, which goes off of the Masoretic text, which we know that was around the 6th century AD. Not BC, AD. They went from the 6th century to the 10th century. So this is the Sefer, the Eth Sefer to be specific. I'm sure there's other versions, but this is the one I'm using. So this is Jeremiah 31:8. I don't know why you can't see it up there, but anyways, let's read. Behold, I will bring them from the north country and gather them from the coast of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the woman with the child, and her that travails with child. Together a great company shall return thither. But I have in my note, the Septuagint, Jeremiah 38:8 says Passover. So let me go show you that. So this is the Breton version, Septuagint, and this is Jeremiah chapter 38. So it's not 31, the same as in the Sefer or the KJV or anything off of the Masoretic text. So Jeremiah chapter 38:8. Again, this is the Breton version, Septuagint. Behold, I bring them from the north and will gather them from the end of the earth to the feast of the Passover. And the people shall beget a great multitude, and they shall return hither. So I was looking at both of these, and I was like, well, let me just take it to what I read and study.
For those of you not familiar with Old English, hither means here.
Paleo-Hebrew. So now here's Jeremiah, what I read, and hither. So I was looking at both of these, and I was like, well, let me just take it to what I read and study. Paleo-Hebrew. So now here's Jeremiah. This is chapter 31 in my Paleo-Hebrew archive, .org, details, Paleo-Hebrew scriptures. Two people actually put this together, and it has really helped me study. And this says Pesach. So it says, all the ends of the earth will go to the Pesach. Hara, what does Hara mean? I can't remember what Hara means. But basically this is saying all the way here that he's going to gather them from all four corners of the earth to the Passover, the Pesach. Okay, now this is Jeremiah 31 verse 8 in this version of Paleo-Hebrew, modern day Hebrew, and then right here is the Greek. So these are the letters and all that stuff. Okay, so where are we? Behold, I shall bring them from the north country, and I shall gather them from the remote parts of the earth, among them the blind and the lame, the woman with the child, and she who's in labor with child together, a great company, they shall return here. Look at the word, where's my finger? The lame. Look at it. It says Pesach, okay? It says Pesach. Where is it? Hold on. Pesach. P-S-H. Pay, stomach, hot. The Pesach, the Passover.
All right. All right. So, again, there are those that feel like there is something of prophetic biblical proportions that is due on deck for this year's Passover, which is next month. Yes, no, I don't know. I'm ready either way. I'm ready either way. They could push the button on this SH show right now, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm tired of it. A whole lot of us are, right? So, anyway, that I wanted to share with you guys. This again is the reason why the name doesn't matter at this point. We're too late in the game, y'all. We are so late in the game. I explained to you, y'all go check out that second Exodus video. I don't want to break that down again, but it has everything to do with the North Node being in Pisces and this being a 9-year. Okay, we just saw a major planetary alignment earlier this month. We got a full moon lunar eclipse happening on Wednesday, and then we've got 2 weeks later, we've got a solar eclipse happening. Y'all know that eclipses are portals. Eclipses are time portals. Once that eclipse comes and goes, the energy shifts and it shifts. It's like one door opens in front of you, the other door closes behind you. The energy always shifts with eclipses. This is why they're timed. They're built into the Earth's timeline. They are built into the annual cosmic calendar. Eclipse season happens in the spring. It happens in the fall. There are constant shifts and upgrades happening. You go through that portal, you don't come out the same anymore. And it's not just you, it's the Earth. So there's a lot of stuff happening cosmically this year. The brother I told y'all about earlier, Matthias, his thing is he was talking about how every time that the Israelites in history were brought out of captivity, it was during a Jubilee year, and how this is a Jubilee year, how 2025 is a Jubilee year. So are we going to see this happen around the Passover time? I have no idea. But again, Matt's ready. Matt is ready. All right. So that is that's that video. I got one more reason why it doesn't matter, y'all, and I'm going to read that right now. Let me go to Matthew chapter 8, verses 5 through 12. That's the last reference, and I got to do it in the roundabout fashion because let's see, Matthew 8. All right, verses 5 through 12. Let's zoom in on this a little bit. All right, here we go. This is the other reason why that name doesn't matter. I'm gonna show it to you right now because a lot of people wearing that name, they've awakened to their biblical identity, and they're like, "You can't. I'm an Israelite. You can't tell me now. Y'all can't say nothing to me. I'm chosen one of the Most High." Okay, all right. Don't matter, huh? I'm gonna show you something. All right, here we go. Let me make sure this is shown on the screen because you know this platform be tripping. Okay, it's there. Y'all can see it. Good. Now, and when the Messiah was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion, beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And the Messiah saith unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, go, and he goeth. And to another, come, and he cometh. Basically, I give orders, and they're followed. And to my servant, do this, and he doeth it. When the Messiah heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, aka inner knowing, sight unseen. No, not in Israel, who he came here for anyway. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and the west. Many shall come from the east and the west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And the Messiah said unto the centurion, Go thy way, and as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee. And his servant was healed in the self same hour. Okay? But the kicker is right here. Verse 11. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and the west, all over the world, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. The church tried to tell y'all that was about Christianity. It's not. The children of the kingdom, the seed. That's why they do the contrast there, y'all. That's why they do the contrast. The seed, the offspring of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The children of the kingdom. Why do you think they do that the contrast? They say many shall come from the east and west and sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the figureheads of the kingdom. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. Meaning, if some people think that means hell, no. It just means that you locked out. You're locked out. You didn't make that upgrade. There's a 3D, 5D planetary split happening right now. There's a dimensional planetary reality split. The very children of the kingdom walking around with that badge of honor that says, I'm Israel. Y'all can't tell me nothing. That book about us. Yeah, we know it's about us. You're still obligated to do the right thing. That right there told you that, hey, you know what? What's that other passage of scripture, y'all? It said, where the Messiah said, other sheep I have with me. Y'all got to get out of that, man. That name, that's where the name don't matter. Some people get caught up in the name, but I'm not going to pull that scripture up. Because I'm about to wrap up now. The thing is, some people get caught up in that name, but what they forget is that the same offspring of Jacob did some of the most wicked and heinous things. Look what they did to their brother Joseph right in the beginning. The daddy was alive when they did that. They wanted to kill him. The older brother stepped up and they're like, nah. We kill him, the blood gonna be in our hands. The older brothers stepped up. Okay? They've been wicked. They've been wicked. But look at King Ahab, who married Jezebel. They've been wicked. These were children of the kingdom. Look at Saul, wicked. These were children of the kingdom. Now, while y'all so busy focused on children of the kingdom that's got the name Judah and Israel, y'all are forgetting all of the biblical examples of how, the scriptural examples of how the Most High used non-Israelites. Rahab in Jericho, Canaanite woman. Was she an Israelite? No. But she was sent here for a purpose. Her purpose was assigned to her before she got to earth. Had she veered away from her purpose, which she was not going to, because she was chosen. I told you, when you're chosen, you're going to do it the easy way or the hard way. But let's just say hypothetically, she had said, you know what? Man, these people have been treating me so wrong all this time. But if I turn in these two Israelite spies, they'll make me I'll be a hero. I'll be a hero. Maybe then they'll respect me, because that's what sellouts do. Sellouts keep kissing behind till the end. They keep kissing butt to the end. People that you kissing behind for, they don't care about you. They use you till they're done with you and throw you away. But let's just say hypothetically, she said, maybe then they'll like me if I turn in these guys. The story would have ended differently. There wouldn't have been no Joshua, and them would have been strung up. But that was a non-Israelite that saved them. Ruth, the Moabite woman, she wasn't an Israelite. She was not an Israelite. She was not an Israelite. The Magi, the three Magi, they weren't Israelites. Hey, look, man, they looking for the angel of the Lord came and told them, but hey, look, they looking for you to go this other way. But still, that's your evidence right there. But the children of the kingdom, many shall come. They're in that many number. They are in that many number. Some of these souls recycle and they reincarnate. I told you we are cosmic beings. We're here in these flesh suits. You think the Most High ain't got something he chose and sent here to do a certain thing that don't look like you? You think the enemy, the dark side, ain't sent some people here with a mission that look like you to knock you off your path, to destroy you? Master, we found tares growing among the wheat. Tares and wheat look alike. The tear looks like the actual fruit or vegetable until they grow up. Master, we found tares growing among the wheat. Shall we pluck them up? Nah, lest you pluck up some of the good stuff too. unless you pluck up the good crop. Nah, let them grow together. Let them grow together. In the end, my father gonna send the reapers, and they're gonna separate the wheat from the tare. Stop looking at the packaging. That's why he told his disciples, you'll know them by the fruit. You'll know the tree by the fruit it bears. Stop looking at the packaging. That's why I told y'all in the beginning, I'm going to read the energy first. I'll look at the packaging second. I read the energy first. If your energy ain't right, I don't care what you look like. Matt ain't dealing with you. Matt ain't absorbing your energy if it don't look right. If your energy don't look right, I'm out. Deuces, double deuces. We'll deal with the packaging later. If your energy right, I don't care what the packaging looks like. The packaging is just a pack. It's just a wrapper. Who want a nasty plate and who want a nasty plate of food that's in a pretty to-go box? Now, if the to-go box is raggedy but the food is bomb, do you care? Do you care if the food came to you on a silver platter or a greasy brown paper bag if the food is good? You don't care. You're probably looking for another greasy paper bag. Y'all stop looking at the packaging. Let me get ready to wrap this up, family. Let me get ready to wrap this up. So that's all I got. I'm gonna read some final comments. Now I did tell you I was gonna bring it back around at the end and give you guys I don't even remember now what I was gonna say. Let me go back and read that. Let me read the comments. Let me read the comment. Hang on, because I'll answer the thing. Now, if you are still on here, the person that asked that question, and you don't mind showing your identity, whatever. What was the question about marriage? Because that was a part of that question, and I didn't, I told you I'd give you my opinion on the end if that's what's going on. I thought my microphone sounded a little open. Okay, let me take it off Omni. I'm still playing with this new mic, y'all. I've only had it for about a week, not even a whole week. I haven't had this for a whole week. So anyway, that sounds much better. I had to get rid of that echo. Anyway, let me find that comment, y'all, and I'm gonna see if that question. Let's see. That comment said they criticize the tribes of Israel. So why do I think they criticize the tribes of Israel? There is a passage of scripture that I think I put in the notes that I did not read. Was it from First Kings? Let me just scan this really quick while y'all are chopping it up in the chat box there. Let me look really quick to make sure I answer that question, because the question to me was, why do I think that they criticize? Let me just say this too. The tribes, the Northern Kingdom, the 10 tribes, they were already here when the tribe of Judah arrived. Y'all go watch some of Benaiah Israel's work. The tribe of Judah held out. They were the ones that fought the Romans. They were the ones, even though they were fighting each other and had a bloody civil war going, they darn near ended that. They darn near ended them 3 legions by capturing. They almost captured Titus in the first week of the battle. They almost captured the Roman general the first week of the battle, but divine providence kept it so that it was not so. And when you read the account of that, when the Romans were celebrating after they finally broke through the walls and destroyed Jerusalem and had it burned into the ground, their general Titus told them, don't celebrate. He basically was like, their God gave them over to us. There's no way we should have beaten them. We see now they dumb dudes. They dumb dudes. We see now why they beat the Greeks, not even having a standing army. How they defeated the Greeks. They dumb dudes. There's something special about them. Ain't nothing special about what we did here. Their God left them basically and handed them over to us. And then we still I had to encourage y'all 3 or 4 times not to quit. And y'all the mighty Romans. I ain't gonna break that down. I'm gonna keep that because I ain't trying to trigger nobody. I ain't gonna break down why that's the case. I ain't trying to trigger nobody. But anyway, they said they criticize the tribe of Judah criticizes the tribe of Israel. Again, the tribe of Judah came over from the west coast of Africa by way of some of them were dropped off in the Caribbean, some in South America, some in North America, but they came by way of West Africa, by way of Portugal, by way of Spain, by way of expulsion from the land known today as the Levant. That was the breakdown. After they lost to the Romans, some of them scattered, went down into the deeper parts of the African continent. Others were captured and sent over to the Iberian Peninsula Okay, that stuff is documented. Go look at some of B'nai Israel's work. He's done a fantastic job tracing the history. But the tribe of Judah were the last holdouts in the land. When they got their backs broken by the Romans, that's when they were scattered after that. Some went further down into the continent, but some were captured and sent back to Europe. And then, of course, you had 711 AD, where these Ishmaelites and Israelites that history began calling the Moors. I don't like the term Moor because Moor, when you look in Spanish and Latin, it means dead. Okay, muerte, morgue, dead. I don't like that term. We got to stop embracing things that have low vibrational meanings. Anyway, 711 AD, General Tariq, leading a collective of Ishmaelites and Israelites, invades the Iberian Peninsula, and they take it over. And they run it for another 700 years. They run it for 700 years. 711 AD to 1492 was when it ended. Okay? So, history labeled them the Moors. What color were they? I'm just saying. That's where the tribe of Judah was up in there. The tribe of Judah was up in there. They got expelled because they did not want to follow Roman Catholicism, and they were killed, tortured, and banished. Had the children separated from them. The children were sent down to the Caribbean to be slaves, and they were going to be raised as Christian slaves. You know, when you want to turn somebody, it only takes 2 generations to flip them. That's it. You kill the parents, you train the children up in the way you would have them go. Is that not universal law? Found in Proverbs? Train up a child in the way that they should go. When they get older, they won't depart from it. You kill off the parents, you retrain the children. They grow up, they marry under you, under your law, under your church-sanctioned wedding styles. They follow your religions and your gods. And then when they have children, they train them up in the only way that they knew. So in 2 generations, the old ways are lost. Unless by divine providence, the memories are kept alive, which they were. Thankfully, not just by the tribe of Judah, but the northern kingdom that was already over here. Now, I don't get into these where some of this stuff goes left. Is you got these 12 tribes chart that is a psyop, if you ask me. That 12 tribes chart. Oh, these people right here is the tribe of Judah, and this people over there. How do you know? Like, how did somebody drop them off? Did somebody classify everybody genetically and genealogically and say, okay, you're a tribe of Benjamin, so we're sending you, all you Benjamin people, you're going to Jamaica, and all you Judah people, you're coming to the United States, and all you Ephraim people, you're going to Mexico. No, y'all, no. That 12 tribes chart, get away from that. Yeah, I said that. Get away from that. Now it makes 0 sense. Makes 0 sense. Okay. Now, the Judah thing, why they do it? It almost doesn't matter. I don't know why they do it. To me, it doesn't matter. I think some of that criticism is built-in sabotage because of the 12 tribes chart. I think so. Hopefully that answers your question, viewer, that asked me that. That's just my opinion. It's not based in fact. I'm just giving you a logical opinion based on anecdotal evidence, okay? What I've seen myself. So now let me check the comments, and we're going to get ready to pull up out of here. But I did say First Kings, something I was going to read there. Let me just look really quick. Let me look. What's that reference? We're in bonus time now, y'all. I'm done. First Kings 12 and 1 through 20. Why was that significant? First Kings 12 and 1 through 20. Why is that significant? Oh, that's just talking about how they ended up getting. Wait a minute, this might be it right here. Okay. First Kings chapter 12, verse 19 says, so Israel rebelled against the house of David unto this day. Okay, so that's a long-standing beef according to scripture. Go read First Kings, the 12th chapter, verses 1 through 20. I'm gonna put that in here really quick. Matt, website about what our names mean. Thank you, Brian. Thank you. Let me pop that in real quick. Brian, BY, and I'm gonna use your name for example, Brian. I'm gonna use your name for example in that website. Hang on a second here. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna share this tab. Let me put the link in here. Y'all can play with this. This is a fun tool to play with, but it's so accurate. In fact, I'm gonna put my name in there too. I shouldn't put myself on Front Street, but somebody probably gonna check it anyway, so I don't mind. Here we go. Here we go. Here's the link. All right, and I'm going to share that to the screen. Thank y'all for being here tonight. We're about done. We're about done. Brian, Brian. And Brian, you tell me how much of this you think is accurate. We'll put you on Front Street since you reminded me. Okay. Brian, name meaning. Is your name helping you? Brian, you take a look at that and tell me if that describes you. The name of Brian creates a shrewd, aggressive business nature intent on personal gain. The desires for independence and financial success have been strong motivating forces from early in your life. You are capable of logical and analytical thinking along practical business lines and could excel in financial fields, law, or politics. Your judgment is seldom swayed through your feelings, meaning you don't get emotional about stuff and change your mind based on emotions. You have definite executive and leadership abilities. However, others may find you to be rather forceful and uncompromising. I wonder if you're an Aries. That sounds like Aries. More congenial business and personal relationships will result from being more tactful and more aware of the needs of others. That definitely sounds like Aries. That's so funny. If you tell me you're an Aries, I'm gonna turn the mic off. If you sacrifice too much for material ambition, there may result a lack of harmony and balance in your personal life. All right, let's get off of you, Brian. Let's get off of you. So let me go into comments and see if Brian is if that is accurately describing Brian here. Let me stop sharing for just a minute. Let's see what Brian got to say, y'all. Let me go over. Let me switch tabs. Oh, snap! Brian said that's me. Okay, so you're Leo. That's Leo energy too. That's Leo energy too. It can't be forceful. I got a brother who's a Leo. He said I was born in August. I knew it was fire energy. I just thought it was Aries. I knew it was fire energy. That's crazy, Brian. All right, I ain't gonna do you like that. I'm balanced. I'm about that balance. Let me put myself on Front Street here. Give me a second. I'm putting myself out here, but it is what it is. Let's see. All right, let's go here. Let me share this. All right, Maddie puts himself on Front Street, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. Let me see. He puts himself on Front Street. Here we go. All right, Matthew. Your first name of Matthew has created a most expressive nature, idealistic and inspirational, driven with a strong inner urge to be of service in some way that would uplift humanity as a whole. Here I am, y'all. However, there's a tendency to assume too heavy a burden of responsibility for others, which leads to worry and undue concern. I'm working on that. Thank God for the team he put around me because, my team helps me big time with that. They help me big time with that. People with problems are drawn to you as they recognize you as one who has understanding and gives not only sympathy and comfort, but provides also some constructive advice or assistance. I've been like that since I was little, y'all. You have a generous quality to your nature, but you must guard carefully against giving more than you receive, or you will find yourself doing without because you have helped someone else. That's enough, y'all. Y'all haven't seen enough. Don't try to take advantage of that, all right? Because I'm older and wiser now, all right? All right? All right, so Fair Use is legendary. What's up, Fair Use? What is up? All right, so let me read these comments, y'all. We're going to get out of here. So the link, I'll put the link in the chat. Y'all check that out. That's from Caballarians.com. You can have some fun with that, but it's very, very interesting. Very interesting. All right, so let me get caught up in here in these chats. Let's see. All right, I corrected. Let's see. All right, I'm way behind. Okay, here we go. Brian Dial. Okay, he said it's an inheritance. Got it. Yep. That's why a new name will be given. Yep. Does the prophecy say that the new name is what this new name is supposed to be called? It does not, Jennifer. It does not. He did that on purpose. Are they not the sons of Gomer in Genesis? Noah, Japheth, Gomer, Ashkenazi. Yeah. I didn't want to go there tonight, so I'm gonna lay off of it for tonight, JoJo, because I end up on here another 30 minutes, and I'm trying to wrap it up. Capri 10. That's right, brother. That's the key right there. Yep. Hi, everybody. I'm starting from the beginning. What's up, B Royalty? Always glad to have you here. Let's see. Wow, I forgot that is a thing. Oh, yeah, I wish I was checking these real time to know what y'all were talking about. Let's see. I have to leave for tonight. I will watch the replay tomorrow. Peace and light, Matt. Thank you for being here, Lady Dagger Status. Thank you. She said, can there be kosher pork chops? I don't think so. But that's a good question. That is a brain teaser. That's a brain teaser. Evening, I'm popping in late. Okay, we got you. We got you. Yep. All right, let's see. They are foolishness. They really are. At this point, it really doesn't matter. Like the arguing part is what's silly. Okay, identify. It's like, yeah, to be honest with y'all, and I don't have no ancestry DNA thing that says this or not, but I would just intuitively, I feel like my paternal lineage is tribe of Judah, and my maternal lineage, I know for a fact, is one of the northern kingdoms. I know that for a fact on my mom's side. I know that. Anyway, let's keep going. So I know for a fact the four carpenters, Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, are coming from Mystery Babylon, and it's any day now. Yeah, I keep hearing that. Brian. I keep hearing that. He said I was ready yesterday. Our people gave up the Messiah for the rebel. Yup. What Brian? OMG, it's popping. Yup, indeed, he's just like something else. Nonetheless, we are ready over. Yup. Someone was breaking down scripture regarding a brother who was recently. Wow. I see it. I don't even think that's necessary. Like, there's been people you can't make that about color. There's been people that have been deaded or unalived by their own. I hate when people do that. That's what gets me with some of these. Anyway, I almost hate I put that on the screen. Jeez. But thank you for sharing that, hot shot. I should have read it in advance. Saying how people gave us barbarous and crucified the Messiah and put his blood of our children's head. Yep. Yeah. Let me read these comments to myself, y'all. Let's see. Thank you, Workout Junkie. I appreciate you being here. Oh, she said Israelites are marrying outside their race. They explain via scriptures on the redirecting channel. Yeah, you know what? Thank you for saying that, hot shot. Again, I don't get into that. I don't. I really don't get into that. The thing is, everybody came here to do something different. And when you are a natal chart astrologer and you start looking into people's different their natal chart placements, and you start looking into some of their destiny placements, you realize people were pre-scripted to come here and live the lives that they live. And this is my problem with these camp brothers. They don't understand that. They treat life like it's a one and done thing, when this is a continuation. Whatever you're doing now, you're picking up where you left off in another lifetime. You're picking up work. You're given a new assignment that is a part of an ongoing assignment. You're given a new battle plan for a campaign or a siege, for so to speak, or you're even paying back karma from some karma you accumulated in another lifetime. But these camp brothers, and they're religious. They try to act like they're not. They're just as religious as Christians. They are. They treat stuff like it is a one and done, and they don't understand this is. But then when you tell them about natal chart astrology, they tell you you're going to hell for reading the natal chart. How else are you going to know? Ask any one of them what they came here to do and observe the commonality and the answers. Religion all purports the same thing. Oh, we came here to serve God. We came here to be good Christians. We came here to be righteous Jews. Whatever it is. Everybody came here to do something different. It's in your natal chart. That's why everybody was created differently. Your energies, from the sign to the house to the degree to the minute, have to do with the specific task for which you were created. The specific task for which you were created. Watch this. Jeremiah 1:4-5. Then the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, meaning set you aside, or I marked you, and I ordained you a prophet unto the nations. So before you were born, you were given your assignment. Before you were born, you were given your assignment. Before you were born, you were given your assignment. This is why I challenge these pastors to say, if you ain't born again, you going to hell. Okay, so God knew me before he formed me in the womb and he sent me here damned to hell. Like, what kind of sense that make? So if I don't quote unquote accept Jesus Christ as my personal Lord and Savior, I'm going to hell. Is that don't jive with this right here? He already sent you here. He knew you before you came here, and he sent you here with your job. Man, y'all go sit down, man. Go sit down. Please go sit down. Let me keep going. Thank you for adding that hot shot. Yeah, so to your point, people getting on somebody for marrying outside. I just told you, look here. Look, Moab, Ruth was from Moab. There was an Israelite marrying outside of his race. What did she do? How did she help the children of the kingdom? For all of these people that want to talk about that. I wonder if somebody married Rahab when the walls of Jericho fell and what's his name? Joshua made good with his word and saved Rahab and her family and brought them back to live with the Israelites. I wonder if somebody was like, yo, shorty, you taking? She ended up being somebody else's blessing, if you ask me. She wasn't an Israelite woman. People need to go sit down. God uses whom he will use. And again, some of the most wicked people in history were Israelites. So y'all stop it. Why do you think the Messiah said, you know the tree by its fruit? Y'all stop it. Anyway, Bernadette said, I love Benea's channel. Thank you. Yeah, he's got a good channel. Truth Unedited did a great breakdown of this as well. I'll have to check that one out. Thanks. Said, Matt, sorry, y'all. I got worked up. It take me a minute to come down. Where my Capricorns at? Y'all know how it is. It take a while to cool down once you get worked up. So I agree with you 100 about that ridiculous 12 tribe chart. And they push that on the corner like they selling like an MLM or something. A lot of those camps are. They move like MLMs. Matt, okay. So it looks like I'm caught up now. Y'all. Looks like I'm caught up. Space Elf said, hello, I'll watch them again once it's over. Thank you, Space Elf. Yeah, they've been tripping with my notifications, y'all. That's why I tell you to always check your notifications and make sure you're set to all, because they be tripping on my channel. But that time's almost up. I ain't going to have to do this no more. I'll be doing something else. Time's almost up, y'all. And I'm not saying that to try to scare nobody. It's just when you tapped in and you feel it, you feel it. When you got dreams that are coming true that you had 3-4 years ago and you're seeing them happen, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what there's no such thing as time. It's only divine timing. There's no such thing as time. There's only divine will and divine timing, divine purpose and divine timing. That's it. She said, I spent time grounding on 2 different Catholic church grounds at sunrise and sunset. Interesting. Very interesting. Truth, the zodiac even lines up with the biblical holy seasons. Exactly. Hashatan has many swift ministers furnished with sweetness of diverse baits to tempt those given to the Yep. This world needs an enema. Oh, that's funny. Do these pastors know what predestined mean? They act like they don't. That was funny, hot shot. Wow, so many people having deep dreams. Yep. Listen, I told people that was going to happen when the North Node entered Pisces. And wherever you have Pisces, whatever house you have Pisces in, that house is being activated and supercharged by the North Node. So Pisces is the energy of dreams, visions, all of that. So it's going to be off the chain for the next 18 months. The North Node changes signs every 18 months. It went into Pisces back in January. So you got until, roughly 16 more months of this. And then you got the shadow period where it changes. It goes out of the one sign, it goes into the next. You got that shadow transitory period. So it's going to be hot. Yep. Thank you, Hot Shot. Thank you. So listen, thank you for everybody who's been here today. We seem to be linking up, dreaming about the same things too. That is true. Listen, thank you for everybody who was here tonight on this live. I thank y'all for being here. Hopefully I answered the questions that were presented. And you guys got something, you got a question, you want to break something down like that, just send it to me in an email or in direct messenger. I cannot promise you I'm going to. Again, I pray about everything that comes into me from outside, and somebody says, "Hey, can you do this?" And if it don't jive with my spirit, I'm not. No offense, but I just can't break it down. I gotta move in accordance with the Most High. Now, with a topic like this tonight, I didn't even think I was going to be going live tonight. Or I definitely had no plans. This was not in my notes or anything to cover this topic. But sometimes God speaks through other people to put a message out that somebody else needs to hear. All I am is a messenger. So thank you again. Capri 10, thank you so much. It's my pleasure. It's always an honor. It's an honor to serve y'all. It's an honor to serve. It is. Fair use. I dreamed I was running backwards, and so did Mother Green Earth. Then I saw a brother running backwards. Interesting. 5:55. Wow. Since I was late, I will have to go back and watch the replay. Thank you, Bernadette. Listen, thank y'all for everybody who's here tonight. Y'all be blessed. If you, again, I'll end this one like I end them all. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like button for me on the way out. And it definitely helps with the algorithm. If you're new to my channel, if you are new, let me slow down, Matthew. If you are new to my channel and you like being entertained, educated, uplifted, inspired, hit that subscribe button and make sure your notification bell is set to all. So you'll be notified when I pop up and go live. And I put the announcement was kind of short, y'all. I do apologize for that. This announcement went out maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours before I went live. So wanted to say it actually wasn't even 2 hours. It's about an hour and some change. So this is more of a pop-up live more than anything, but I did do some background homework on it before I went live with it. So, but yeah, so this one was a late announcement. Normally I like to put the announcement out, 8 to 12 hours before, sometimes a day before I'm going to go live with the topic to give you guys a chance to see it come up in your feed. So my apologies to anybody watching this that did not see it in their feed. I'll try to be better about that. And then, so make sure your notification bell is set to all so you'll be notified when I drop new content or when I go live. And 2 things before we go: tell somebody you love them and mean it. It ain't too late for that, y'all. It's never too late to show love. Never. I know we're late. I know we're moving toward that 3D, 5D split is speeding up. It's been moving slow and it's speeding up. Like the scripture says, that the Messiah said, it's going to be like a woman in travail. Y'all know them labor pains start out, they're spaced out, and then they get closer and closer and closer and closer till boom. We right there now. We right there. So, but guess what? It's never too late to show love. It's never too late to tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You got to show it. Love is a verb. It's a noun as well, but when we focus on the verb, guess what? That noun always takes care of itself, right? And last but not least, remember this. Commit it to your memory. Write it down. Read it, okay? You will never, ever, ever. First of all, nobody can have your destiny. I told you that. Destiny swapping does not exist. People try it, but all they're doing is you're ultimately, if somebody's trying to swap destiny with you, you are ultimately the bait to hook them to get some karma that they probably been karma for some stuff they've probably been doing for a long time. If somebody's trying to swap destinies with you, you're just a karma bait. You're karma bait for them. That's it. You were chosen to be the bait for which they get their karma. That's that. Nobody can ever have your destiny. It's yours. However, that being said, you will never, ever, 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 ever reach or fulfill your destiny unless you are operating in 100% authenticity. All right, I'm going to say that again. Unless you are operating in 100% authenticity, you will never reach the fullness of your destiny. Your destiny is tied to the authentic version of you. The most authentic version of you exists already in the higher realms. Your higher self is 100% pure, is 100% authentic. It is. It's pure energy. Whether that energy is high vibration or low vibration, doesn't matter. It is pure energy. Okay? You are 100% authentically you in the higher realms, your higher self, your super conscious. You got a conscious, a subconscious, and a super conscious. Your super conscious is the most authentic version of you. Your job is to come into full alignment with who you really are. And you cannot do that by not being authentic. That's why you got to check in and go within. What's important to you? You can be balanced, but you got to be authentic. If you're surrendering any part of yourself to make somebody else happy, and you're pushing down the real you, or you're hiding the real you at the behest of someone else, how can you get to your destiny when your destiny is tied to the real you? So be 100% authentic, y'all. Work on that. Work on authenticity. That really is the highest vibration. You can't operate in the fullness of love if you're not being authentic. Some people say love is the highest frequency. No, it's not. It's authenticity. It's authenticity. All right. Let me publish some last few comments to the screen. Then we're going to end the live. Got that one. Got that one. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Hotshot. Thank you so much. Thank you for always being here, Hotshot. Thank you for being a huge supporter. Thank you so much. Yeah, that too. That too. Yup. And y'all be careful with these Aquarius and these Capricorn placements because they're walking karma. They're the arbiters of karma. Anybody's that's connected, whose sign is connected to Saturn, especially in that sun sign, they ain't somebody you want to mess with. I'm just telling y'all. Just telling you. I've seen it happen. I've seen it. Authenticity. That's right. Tony Jones song, Budget Energy. I got to check that out. All right, y'all. That's all I got. Thank you again. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button on your way out. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Thank y'all. I love you guys. Take care. Peace.